Right, hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the 30th day of May 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. I'll let you into a panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. More cancer treatment centers needed. Oncologist. Government votes 700 million cedis for book research allowances since 2020. I'll review Labour Act to protect workers. Baumia assures TUC. Ghana card as sole identification. Political parties give EC green light to lay new bill. This is news. Okay. The Ghanaian Times. Advancing entrepreneurship and innovation. NEIP creates 103,871 jobs from 2017 to 2023. President. First batch pilgrims from Tamale arrive in Jeddah. 184 on death row in Ghana. Amnesty International report. Ghana set to become first African country to establish small modular reactor as it signs MOU with US. JB Danko Edu Meda case adjourned to June 10 as jurors strike continues. Daily Guide. Baumia message good. TUC. Live telecast for anti-gay bill cases. 3 caged over alleged sextortion. KGL boss is overall best CEO. NEIP initiative transforms entrepreneurship. Nana. The New Crusading Guide. TUC Lords Baumia's vision to transform Ghana with ideas, systems, and institutions. Foreign Ministry debunks Blackwell's Oslo Chancery allegations. Adhere to health and safety protocols upon Nkrumah to contractors. Intensire Busumfuo secures judgment against a Ekropon. KGL Group Chairman honored at CEO Summit as overall CEO of the year. Baumia is poised for victory in December elections. Kuro NPP Chairman. Government NEIP initiative transforms entrepreneurship landscape in Ghana. The Insight. Paradise of lies. How the West manipulates Africa through neo-colonial media. Neglect of stillborn babies. A blot on nation's conscience. Stakeholders in health. Tension high in Ashie as residents and chief clash over prime land. Be decisive on Israel and Gaza ceasefire. Religious NGO charges UN. Why Godfrey Dami must resign now? Former Ghana Law School Director General explains. The Daily Statesman. We are committed to STEM education. Akufo-Addo touts progress in sector. Information Minister visits Daily Statesman. TUC welcomes Baumia's private sector vision. Fuel tanker drivers laud NPA for leading discussions on conditions of service. Daily Post. Godfrey Dami is Minister of Injustice. He must go. Arise Ghana. The longer Dami stays AG, the more he drags the office through the mud. Martin Pebu. Labadi Beach Hotel alone, capable of managing Rock City and 3 other hotels. Ablakwa. Honorable Joycelyn Tete marks Menstrual Hygiene Day with her constituents at Amfoiga RC Park. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop. $1, 1 CD. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. If I was them, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry. We are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop.
The depreciating CD.
CD is the first time CD. Who accorded what you are wearing? Didn't we import? We imported this, we imported that. CD depreciation is a ritual problem. I agree with you. It's not because of one particular government. Unless one is suffering from unconscious incompetence or displaying intellectual dishonesty, that will say that CD depreciation is MPP government. It's an issue that has nationalistic or that needs nationalistic attention. That one I agree. But it's not. So far we keep on being in importer-driven economy. We'll be having problems with the CD because we import almost everything. But inshallah, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, next year if he comes, we're going to design a long-term framework.
Brofiedru is an area somewhere in Ashanti region. Anyway, you're welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have a member of the comms team of the ruling NPP, Ernest Adade. Ernest, good morning.
Good morning, right?
And thanks for making it. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Also with me on the show this morning is the National Communications Officer of the NDC, a legal practitioner, Sami Jemfi. Sami, good morning.
Good morning.
I hear you are not too cool. Okay. You are listening to too many intercepted conversations. That's contaminated your system. Anyway, I want to start off with this. I've seen a development on the Labour Ablakwa Senate issue. So I want us to look at that. Now, President Nana Akufo-Addo has taken significant steps to address concerns raised by organized labor regarding a controversial sale of 4 hotels by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, to Agriculture Minister Brian Echampo. Organized labor had petitioned the president to hold the sale of the hotels to Brian Echampo. And in response, President Akufo-Addo directed Employment and Labor Relations Minister Ignatius Bafo-Ewuwa to engage in discussions with labor leaders. The president's goal is to find a mutually acceptable solution to the dispute, ensuring that the interests of all stakeholders are considered. Dr. Yalban, Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, TUC, confirmed the president's directive in a media engagement. Quote, we wrote to the president that we needed to engage him on this sale of SNIT hotels. He has referred it to the Employment and Labor Relations Minister to start the engagement with us. We are hoping that these engagements will help all of us to find a solution to what we think is a problem. We're going to meet with the SNIT board. Organized labor leaders are going to meet with the SNIT board and also with the Employment and Labor Relations Minister who's in charge of pensions. Ernest, this is the latest development. Meanwhile, the Shiraj has also indicated that it's received a petition, and I'm sure they've started their work. Yeah.
Thank you, right?
Yes.
This is a running story. I think you've dealt with it. I
Yes.
followed a lot of the conversations around it all this while. And that's what SNIT's position currently is. I don't want to believe we have to go back into all these stories. We've held a position. The NPP as a party had raised its side of the story on this. Personally, I believe that this SNIT issue, let's deal with it as a business issue. This is a country that we used to have a lot of state-owned agencies, state-owned businesses. Unfortunately for us, a lot of them we sat down and they ran down and we couldn't do anything about it. We didn't even have a scrap value for them. We couldn't even sell them for nothing. Sincerely, nobody was ready to take them after the time all these things had elapsed. there's been so many allegations around on this. We've heard the NDC mention state capture, and it's a program. It's an something statement that had been written down, and it is being followed.
I mean,
A japadia and all that. Whatever the situation is, I believe that if it's a state-owned property, a state-owned business, and we can run it, and we believe we want to run it as a country, let's go ahead as a country. If we believe that if we leave it to go as it is going now, because we know all over the world after COVID-19, a lot of hoteliers, a lot of hotel businesses are having challenges. The data is there for everybody to verify. They've had challenges all over. If we think that SNIT investment is not secured in these businesses, and therefore we should diversify our interest in these businesses, let's get somebody to buy. Where I agree with the conversation going around is, should it be somebody in government or a business that somebody in government or a politically exposed person is related to that should procure or buy or go and acquire these shares that we are thinking of diversifying? That's another conversation we could have. If you ask me, I would have stood back and said, let's go. Let's do something else.
In a related development, the Honorable Kujato Ablakwa, who's the one who
raised the
petition, the Shraj, has put out this post. It says, I have finally secured the annual financial statements of Labadi Beach Hotel, Hotel Investments Ghana Limited, that's the name of the company, covering the last decade, and been combing through the reports as prepared by the reputable Deloitte. I've also intercepted the 2023 management account of Labadi Beach Hotel. Incredibly, this is one of 6 hotels government says is struggling and desperately needs a strategic investor to inject capital and efficiency. Contrary to the deceptive government-SNIT narrative, the financials show that Labadi Beach Hotel is far more profitable than previously thought. The financials reveal that Labadi Beach Hotel has cash reserves in 5 bank accounts amounting to an impressive 54,855,795 cedis. Labadi Beach Hotel from 2022 Deloitte financial statement had a turnover of 120,438,655 cedis. From the 2023 management account, this has commendably increased to 188 million from 120 million. 188,076,649 cedis. Labadi Beach Hotel in 2022 posted a gross profit of 70,734,099 cedis, a figure which astonishingly more than doubled by 2023 to 158,490,448. In addition to dividends, Labadi Beach Hotel over the last 5 years has paid a significant 20,318,232 cedis in taxes to government. Clearly, Labadi Beach Hotel is a cash cow and not a struggling hotel as government propagandists are claiming. Anyone who takes over Labadi Beach Hotel alone can use its profitability to revamp all the hotels in SNIT's investment portfolio. Probably the all Ghanaian management of Labadi Beach Hotel should be asked to manage all of SNIT's hotels, and I'm more convinced that this deal is not in our collective interest. Hands off our SNIT hotels or get ready for our June 18 demo. And talking about Labadi, I always admire the current MD. You know, this is somebody who started as a night auditor and rose through the ranks and has become the first Ghanaian to lead Labadi. And these are the impressive results that have been posting. I mean, never mind the fact that he attended Accra Academy.
So, Randy,
yes.
All that you've read
yes.
is pointing to something else than what I was talking about.
Right.
I am saying SNIT has an interest in the hotel. If this SNIT interest, the owner of that interest believes that, as I'm talking about SNIT,
yes,
believes that my interest in these hotels, maybe over a period of time, I don't have access to the kind of information they have access to.
Yes.
They definitely might be serving on the board and other things. They may be privy to certain information that is not yet in the public domain, or why they are making these decisions. It is what they have put in the public domain that I'm also talking about. If they believe that we are not making enough money, our brother Sami had already said something contrary to that. He is talking about the profitability of a company may not necessarily, just making money from the company may not necessarily allude to the benefit of the shareholders. And the SNIT is definitely not the only shareholding company within Labadi Beach. We are also not talking about only one hotel. And is Labadi a sole SNIT ownership?
I think so.
Okay, I don't have that information also. But all the four, we are not talking only about Labadi too. They are looking at their interest in other facilities. All I'm saying is that, do we believe that with the injection of another form of interest, maybe giving it to a private sector person, or we will bring better money? Maybe now, from what Sami is saying, I haven't confirmed, but from what Sami is saying, let's say they are making 180 now. Has SNIT done any work to tell them that, oh, maybe if we gave it to a private sector person, we would have made so much, or we are anticipating something? You see, on the markets, we are looking at your anticipation. Maybe they are anticipating something, and they think that going forward, the profitability or whatever the situation is now may be curtailed one way or the other. All I am saying is, they are looking at it as a business. Let them handle it as a business thing. If it is the conflict of interest issue that has been raised, and as to why it is going to a politically exposed person, or all those issues could be addressed on a different platform. But if it is because it's a business, and I have shares, I can have shares in Metro TV. Yeah. If I have shares in Metro TV and I look at the state Metro TV is in now and decide that this is the best time for me to dispose of my shares and make a lot of capital gains at this time, why not? It's my decision. It's a decision I have to make in the interest of my company. So if SNIT is saying this, let us interrogate that. I mean, that's what I want us to look at.
Right.
If we didn't make the right decisions on Vodafone, for example, maybe Vodafone would have been a Ghana Airways by now, because we sat down till there was virtually very little to salvage before we started to take steps on it. With Vodafone, we made certain decisions. And when we made those decisions, at least if for nothing at all, the company had survived until now. It didn't go defunct like the others. So all that we are saying, I'm looking at it purely from the business point of view. Put the political side, let's put the politics aside. The politicking can create issues in a business. Yep. It can create issues. So have we interrogated it? Have we looked at it properly? And we've seen not just the balance sheet, but have we looked at it properly to see that, oh, what projections? And I want every Ghanaian to interrogate this. SNIT used to do this SNIT housing thing. If you ask me, it was one of the best things that was happening to this country, because they built, and workers who may not have money in their bank to go and buy a property or something could have bought it on mortgage and all that. So from this angle, I thought that project was a good project. But somewhere along the line, we seized it. Why? Because there were allegations of corruption and people owning multiple, people buying and not paying and all that. So SNIT, one way or the other, stopped that project. It doesn't make that project a bad one, but the way we were approaching it. So somebody is trying to approach, somebody may, not is, but may be trying to approach this thing the same way. If it is true, I am very, very optimistic. If it is true that somebody is just trying to circumvent the processes to own the properties that hitherto would have been owned by Ghanaians, then we can take action and stop it.
Right. Okay. So as we listen to Sami, I can tell you, I don't want to say on authority, but I can tell you, as somebody who knows something small about this industry, small, that David Eduafo, the MD of Labadi Beach, and his team, every hotel in Africa and perhaps beyond would want to hire him and his team to run their facility. I'm telling you. David Eduafo and his team at Labadi. top notch. Top notch. You can look at the financials, you can look at the services, you can go do an experiential thing. But David Edwafel and his team, what they have done over the period, and I mean, he's demonstrated that he's not gone through the mill for nothing. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And anyway, let me just leave it here.
Doc, you see, this matter of the sale, the attempted sale of some hotels belonging to Smith is a scandal of monumental proportions. It is not business. It has nothing to do with business, as my brother on the other side is suggested. This is a clear case of looting of state assets. It's a clear case of state capture. It's a clear case of corruption. It is a clear case of conflict of interest.
Are you not jumping the gun?
It is unconscionable. I'm not jumping the gun at all. In fact, we are far behind the gun. Nobody is jumping the gun, Doc. It is simply unconscionable. It is outrageous. And no person who has a modicum, a scintilla of patriotism in him or her, will defend this loot, this state capture. I've seen MPP people who have told me that, look, we are all embarrassed. We are ashamed. We are disgusted by what is going on. It's because of things like this that somebody like Kennedy Ejapong, who is a strong and leading member of the NPP, said that the NPP is looting Ghana like there is no tomorrow. They are looting Ghana like there is no tomorrow. Look, first there is a common sense aspect of the issue. And I'm not going to go into details, okay? Just going to talk about 5 things very quickly.
Before your 5 things, if I take Labadi out, the rest of the facilities in that portfolio, when you visit those facilities, you weep. I went to Bejaya, the reception, the roof actually caved in, a part of the roof. Look, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the Black Stars had to play in Cape Coast. We were looking for a hotel. At the time, I think Infantipim, or one of the top schools in Cape Coast, had their speech day. And so bookings, hotels have become a bit... Look, Bejaya, we couldn't rent the place. The reception itself, the roof, half the roof, the ceiling, had caved in. The rooms, about half of them, a particular sector, I'm not sure that even people would want their pottery to be in there. Plus, some of those other facilities, you come to a place like La Palme. If you had been to La Palme some 5 years, 6 years, maybe 7 years earlier, and you went to La Palme, let's say 4 years ago, you weep. Nobody was interested. In fact, people will go and have a ceremony at La Palme because they will pay chicken feed for it. That's how bad the place had been run down. So true, if you take Labadi out, many of the others in the portfolio were just horrible.
Look, I'm not taking Labadi out. I'm starting with Labadi. And on Labadi, I'm starting from a commonsensical position.
Right.
And as you rightly read out, Labadi is a highly profitable hotel.
Very true.
From what Ablako has put out, Labadi Hotel has cash reserves in 5 banks amounting to 54.8 million cedis, 548 billion old cedis. They also, per their financial statements from Deloitte, they have a turnover of 120.4 million cedis. Okay.
This was
then,
my previous turnover.
Exactly. And then their gross profit of 70.7 million cedis. Dividends, 20.3 million cedis. This is a highly profitable hotel. So why sell a profitable hotel? What do you need a strategic partner for relative to Labadi Hotel? So clearly, this should tell any objective mind that the objective is not to look for a strategic partner for a struggling hotel. Because if that were the case, Labadi will not be included. Labadi will not be included. Labadi has been included even though highly profitable, because what these guys are interested in is just plutocracy, state capture, corruption, and they do it brazenly without any even their conscience pricking them that, look, you are destroying this nation, you are depriving future generations of critical assets that they can fall on. Look, when we talk about SNIT, it's about all of us. Because without the workers of this country, there will be no SNIT. SNIT is just the institution that is mandated to manage the SNIT contributions of workers of Ghana. So that when we go into pension, we can have something to fall on to cater for ourselves and our families. So SNIT is using pensioners' money. SNIT is using the monies of workers of this country. It is not their money. It is not government's money. And therefore, how they use that is very important. Over the past, they have decided to invest in hotels. One of such hotels is Labadi Beach. The hotel is making profits. And then the government decides that we are going to give this profitable hotel to the Member of Parliament for Abetifi, who doubles as the Minister for Agric. Die-hard, staunch, leading figure of the New Patriotic Party. Forever and ever, in perpetuity. To deprive the workers of this country of such a strategic investment, which is yielding the needed dividends. That, for me, does not make sense. And if you defend this, the sale of Labadi Beach Hotel to Brian Champon, then I dare say that you are unpatriotic. And you are part of the plutocracy going on. It's as simple as that. Now, the second part, still on the common sense angle, has to do with the other hotels which we are told are struggling, are not that profitable like Labadi Beach Hotel. Doc, I will go with the observation. I will also concede that based on what we've seen, some of them are indeed struggling. But the notion that once you have a state business struggling, then the right thing to do is to sell it, for me, is a lazy man's thinking. It's a lazy man's thinking. Because if we are to go by that same argument, then look, we need to sell Ghana. Let's sell Ghana, maybe to the Chinese. Let's auction Ghana. Let's sell Ghana. Because Ghana today is far bankrupt. And if you look at the financials of Ghana, the balance sheet of Ghana, all the struggling hotels we are talking about are doing better than Ghana. You know, so. All the struggling, from La Palm, they are all doing better. Because as for Ghana, we are totally bankrupt. We can't service our debts, right? Totally bankrupt. In terms of our credit rating, junk, baller, locked out of the capital market. That is how bad our situation is. Then we need to sell Ghana. We need to also sell the Bank of Ghana, our central bank. Because for the first time, that bank has incurred losses to the tune of $6 billion. Look, you get my point. $6 billion in losses. So let's sell Bank of Ghana. Let's auction Bank of Ghana. That is how absurd that argument is. That once a business is struggling, then straight away the antidote is sell it. Because like you rightly pointed out, Labadi is doing well, not because of anything special with Labadi. I think that it has something to do with the observation you have made. The quality of management Labadi Beach Hotel is enjoying. And I dare say that if we should do a detailed analysis of these struggling hotels and why they are struggling, it will boil down to management. And not because the investments are not strategic and are not capable of yielding profits. Look, you get my point. So first of all,
I'll be interested in finding out if the SNIT board has ever interrogated the performance of Labadi.
Vis-a-vis the rest.
Yes.
And while Labadi is making profit,
yes,
and less than 100 meters from Labadi, you have La Palm, and La Palm is not making profit. You understand?
La Palm was supposed to be even bigger than Labadi.
Exactly. Look at that beach. Look at the landscape. You understand? So the capacity for La Palm to be profitable exists.
The beachfront land at La Palm, if it's valued commercially alone, it's something else.
Something else, dog. Something else. So my point is, just like all of us, when you have your business and the business is struggling, you don't just wake up and say, I'm selling. You first of all explore what the causative factors are, and then you come up with the solution. And that solution, in my humble opinion, in this discussion, can be getting in place the right, effective, and efficient management for the hotels. This argument that they are struggling, so we should sell, doesn't make sense. It's just a ruse to capture these critical state assets. That is what it is. Because if that were the case, number one, you will not include Labadi, which is profitable. And number two, if that were the case, then you should be selling Bank of Ghana, you should be selling PBC. We should even sell Ghana Cocoa Board.
Could Labadi have been used?
Let's sell Ghana Cocoa Board.
Could Labadi have been used as a sweetener to get investors to want to,
absolutely. Oh, sweetener.
Yes.
No, I said, well, what is that?
You have already.
My understanding of the sweetener was that the states could use the profits we are making from Labadi to resuscitate, to sweeten the struggling ones. Not to give Labadi as a sweetener to Brian Champo.
They don't want to run it.
That arrogant
they
man
don't, oh no.
who is always fomenting trouble.
No, that's unfair.
Arrogant is unfair.
No,
the man who says, Akufo-Addo will not hand over today or tomorrow.
No, it's unfair within the context of this discussion. I think it's unfair.
Oh.
Let's just focus on let's focus
very
on
unfair.
In fact, there's something we have done over the period.
Yeah.
If you look at even the sale,
yes,
the sale is not to Brian Champo.
It is to Brian.
It is to
Brian Champo.
To Rock City.
Yeah.
I
didn't stop him because the documentation shows that he's a sole shareholder and the beneficial owner.
Who is the owner of the company?
Sammy is a
Chief.
lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a lawyer too?
No.
Okay, so
and
who
I'm
is the
expecting
owner of the
him
company?
to have this conversation
Hold on.
within
Who owns
the
Rock
business
City?
law enclave.
But you
Okay,
know
so
that
can I ask you
the
he's
issue
a
of
he's a sole owner
and
of
as
the
you know
company.
the issue of
Who is the owner of the
issue
company?
of the conflict of interest
Yeah.
and all those things
I have already
arise.
alluded.
Yeah, I'm saying that those issues arise because of the person
because
who owns.
Look, I have no
It's a
ability to
business.
conflict of interest. Look, the point is, who
decided-
is the owner of Rock
Sorry,
City?
what I'm saying
Who is the owner?
No, don't go there yet.
I shouldn't go
Which
where?
company is buying the shares?
Rock City.
Rock
Yes,
City.
and who owns Rock
Looking
City?
at Rock City as an entity on its own.
Yes.
If Brian Champon, for example, comes to borrow money from you, you will need to go through processes to go and say, I am taking over his property, right? But it doesn't automatically say Rock City borrowed the money.
See, my brother, I'm meeting you for
So
the first time.
I am seeing him as a lawyer. I want the conversation situated in. I don't want to look like I am defending the process.
You've
because
made an
for me,
intervention.
For
Can
me,
I at least continue?
Yes, you can.
Let him
sorry.
finish.
Yeah.
For
No,
me,
because I'm
let's
meeting
understand him, so-
I get him because I'm meeting him for the first time
Yes,
today. I want to share my time with you.
That's fine.
For
So
me,
my point is-
let him finish so we understand what he is saying.
What I'm saying is, for me, that side of the conversation where these assets are being disposed to politically exposed persons, I also have an issue with it. Okay. So there we don't have a problem. I am thinking that if within the context of this conversation, if we use Rock City trying to buy the hotels, it suits the purpose better. Because Rock City is a hotel, right? And maybe in their plan, their strategy, they want to procure more hotels, they want to do exploit, whatever they want to do. I'm not a member of their board. But what I'm saying is, if we keep, I came in only when he said, Brian is arrogant, Brian is this, then we are taking the thing to his person.
All right.
And that's what I think.
Okay. So the reason why I mentioned Brian Champon, as for the arrogance I've explained, is because of the kind of commentary he makes. Very toxic commentaries.
I've asked you to take that out of this discussion.
Which have the potential of plunging this country into
take it
chaos.
out of this
No, but you see,
conversation.
when you are discussing a man, you see, you are, let me focus on this issue. So, Doc, the reason why I will continue to say Brian Champon is because he's the owner of the company.
Yes.
There is no dispute about it. Every company is owned by a shareholder, and he's a sole shareholder. Apart from he being the owner, I know that a company has a separate and distinct legal personality from its shareholders and directors. Yes, but this company clearly, for all intents and purposes, is the alter ego of Brian Champon. Is the alter ego.
Well, in
of
fact,
Brian
if you
Champon.
go by
Yes.
the letter from the dinner chief,
Yeah.
it presupposes that he's even taking personal.
Exactly. That's his alter ego.
It's acted
there is no
personally
debate about
in
it. Yes. Yeah. But my brother, if I can just go on, then you come in there. Respectfully. So that's the first point. So, dog, commonsensically, it doesn't make sense. And if you have a modicum of love for this country, you will share this view that you don't sell a profitable business. And even for those struggling, they can be revived through proper management. And that should be the first recourse of government, and not to sell to a crony or a leading figure of the ruling party who also doubles as a cabinet minister.
Even if due process was followed.
Even if due process was followed. Even if due process was followed. And I'll show you that due process has not been followed. But even if it was followed, it doesn't make sense to sell a profitable business, Labadi Beach Hotel, and it doesn't make sense to sell a struggling business when you have not explored the possibility of reviving that struggling business.
They have.
They've not.
Yeah,
so far,
appointed many people.
No. From the press release, the issue, they didn't say anything about that. And I'm saying that if we are to go by that thinking, let's sell Cocoa Board, who can't pay their debts. They are doing debt restructure. Why can't you sell young auction? Say 100% government. Government is the shareholder. So let's sell 60% of that to Brian Ejambo. Or you and I, let's form a company. Let's go and buy the central bank.
No, that's why we've licensed cocoa buying agencies. So a part of the thing is
it is still no. Government is still the shareholder. We can sell part of our shares. Then number two is the unconstitutionality and the illegalities. I'll be brief on this.
Okay.
My brother, you can't defend it. This deal is unconstitutional because the sole shareholder who doubles as a director is a member of parliament in the Ministry of State. Article 78.3 and Article 98.2 says that if you're a member of parliament or a ministry of state, you cannot, put yourself in a position of profit, okay, unless you have the express permission of the Speaker of Parliament. This one is basic, it's right. By being the sole shareholder, he is the recipient of all dividends of Rock City. That is the profit of Rock City goes to him. Again, he is a director, whether non-executive director or executive director is immaterial. All directors are in charge of policy making and direction of every company. The only difference between an executive and a non-executive director is that the executive is engaged in the day-to-day administration of the company. The non-executive is not engaged in the day-to-day, but still plays the role of a director and is still paid as a director. So whether you look at his position as a director or shareholder, he's put himself in a position where he's making profit. But he himself has confessed on Joy FM, I listened to him, that he doesn't have the permission of the Right Honorable Speaker. And that means that he has violated the Constitution. So straight away, I am telling Brian Echampo, whatever money you pay to SNET, Usikano, Ebeshe, on 7th January 2025, because this palpable unconstitutionality and illegality will vitiate the entire transaction. And the next NDC government will sack you from those hotels, even if your party gives that to you, because this illegality is a vitiating factor for that transaction. Number 3, Doc, Brian Echampon is taking advantage of Ghana. He's taking advantage of his key position in the ruling MPP party and government. And he's using that position to shortchange the country. He's using that position of influence to rip us off. Maybe my brother is not aware. Do you know that before this transaction, the Kumasi Catering Guest House was sold, 25% of SNET's stake in that hotel was sold to Rock City, owned by Brian Echampo. That 25% shares was valued at 8.6 million cedis. I get a sense that you are one of the objective people in the MPP. So I wait to see what you say about this one, if you can defend this one too. 25% shares valued at 8.6 million Ghana cedis. Doc, they sold it to him at 1.2 million cedis less the real value. So Brian only paid 7.4 million. And I am saying that, but for his position of influence, nobody values their property at 1 million and sells it for 8 million for nothing. Unless the person is so desperate for money And clearly, Smith is not desperate. At the time, they were not desperate for money. For them to have sold 25% of their stake in the Kumasi Catering Guest House at 7.4 million cedis when it was valued at 8.6 million cedis. The state lost 12 billion cedis as a result of that. You think that you and I would have gotten that deal, Doc? So that is a conflict of interest we are talking about. He has put himself in a position where there is a likelihood and where, in this case, there is real conflict of interest. Then number 4 is that the whole deal is a rip-off of the country, not just because of this history of Brian Echampon and his Rock City. But you see, in this day, who sells their property in Ghana in cedis? Which serious organization is selling their property? Okay, through a process that will span many years.
In fact, the acting MD for La Palm was paid in dollars.
They are paid in dollars?
Yeah, Ghanaian, yes, paid in dollars.
So you are doing a transaction from 2018, 2019, 2022. You start the procurement process for a strategic partner, 2023, 2024. And the price Brian is supposed to pay is pegged in cedis. Yet the consultant who is supposed to advise on the entire transaction, his fees is pegged in dollars.
Yes.
The consultant, Sam Capital, is that their name?
Yes.
Is wise enough to say that, look, this Bawumia CD Downs in Power logo depreciating every day, such that today you need almost 16 cedis to get $1. The consultant says, media, you have to pay me $491,000. Then as for us, Akufo-Addo and Bawumia say, oh, we are selling our hotels to Brian. That one is cedis. What is the value of that money? What is the value of that money in today's terms? Completely deteriorated as a result of the free fall of the cedi. So if the consultants and even the workers are sensible enough to peg the transaction in dollars, why don't you peg it in dollars and tell Brian pay the cedi equivalent? You see, they are in a hurry to give it to him for nothing because he's one of their own. Once he gets the money, he can finance their party. Finally, Doc, it is clear that all the key stakeholders in this transaction, and I'm talking about the body that represents the workers of this country, organized labor, TUC, all of them have said that this deal stinks to the high heavens. So it is not the MPP who are going to lecture us about the importance of this deal. All the workers of this country, they have a body, they have executives, they are saying they are against it, and if you try it, they are going to embark on an unprecedented strike. Don't waste your time. Just cancel this thing and forget about it.
Well, the TUC says that at the instance of the president, on the basis of their letter to him, they are meeting the Senate board and then they are meeting the minister. So let's wait for the outcome.
Well, I don't think that Senate can change their position on this matter. I mean, TUC can't dare change their position on this matter. Oh,
they could be confronted with superior viewpoints.
But they have 4 representatives on the board already.
Yeah, but I'm saying that...
And those representatives on the board have been, they've been active, supervising the entire process from day one. So if a few weeks ago, being privy to everything that has gone on, from briefings from their representatives on the board, they took a position that this is a rip-off, this is not in the interest of the Ghanaian worker.
Yes.
Well, maybe they are going to meet the minister to advise him that, my friend, back off.
Well, so because
they say that
their reps...
Because if they try it...
No, they say their reps raised issues.
Yes.
And on the basis of the issues they raised, they asked for the process to be halted, only to find out that Senate was going ahead with the issue. Now, it is possible that they could get tangible explanations to the issues that they raised.
The General Secretary of the TUC, I know, will never fall for this. No, I don't think.
No, they have questions. What if those questions are answered?
I don't get a sense that they have questions. They've expressed a vehement opposition to this. They are saying it's a no, don't go there. And I think they should stand.
You are blackmailing them.
No, I think they should stand by that, because if they change their stance after a meeting with the beneficiary of this unlawful
No, they are
transaction.
not, they've not said they are meeting the beneficiary.
What minister are you talking about? The Minister of Finance?
No, Labour.
The Minister for Labour?
Yes, that's the Minister for Pensions. No, I'm saying that the president, SNIT is under Ministry of Labour.
So the president says they should meet the minister.
Yes, so the president has asked the minister to meet them
the benefit
and
of the
deal
doubt.
with the issues.
But I don't think that the General Secretary I know
and you know,
even there.
The way Sami is sacking people.
So no, it doesn't make sense for the reasons I've explained to you. It is unconstitutional and unlawful. It is also a rip-off. By the example, save it. If you give it to SNIT for these hotels, I'm saying that the unconstitutionality and the illegalities in the agreement will vitiate it and will take it back for the workers of this country. Okay. Mark my words.
This is the first time you are hearing this.
Hearing what?
There's when we come, we will do this, we will do that.
Yeah.
I heard this thing from the Honorable Haruna when the Vodafone, when they were in opposition, Vodafone happened.
Yes.
And they came to office and finished and left in peace. And I didn't see much. But there's something funny about my brother Sami. That he nowadays, anytime I listen to him, he's sacking people. He's not in office yet. Police will be whatever. That will be the last day of their being policemen.
Please, let me correct
I saw some video. I was funny.
Let me correct you because I've seen them do a lot of mischief with us. So once you brought it, let me
land on this.
No, please. I beg you. I allowed you, so just return the favor. Doc, that statement they are circulating.
Yes.
Was a press conference I addressed for the party sometime in 2020.
Yes.
It's not the current thing. That was why I was in face mask.
Yes.
It didn't have to do with policemen and military men in general.
Yes.
It had to do with military men who were captured on video at Banda.
Yes.
Beating NDC supporters and prevented them from registering. Yes. It was after we played that video that I said, those military men, we know them.
Yes.
And the day there is a change in government, we shall deal with them mercilessly.
Right.
That is what I said, and I still stand by this, by that. I was referring to those specific military men who were captured on video beating innocent civilians, including NDC supporters.
I think your point is well made. But what I'm saying is the issue of sack. Just now you made some similar statements, and you see, he really mentioned that
sack people as it.
No. I was saying that from the way he is speaking, maybe by the time really, if Labour goes to meet the Labour minister, and then they agree to something, then maybe somebody will end up sacking Labour, the leadership of Labour too, if he can. But if he can. But all I'm trying to say is that, you see, let's look at this thing from another angle. All that he is mentioning, he has done this, Brian has done that. Personally, I have said that if this is a raw deal, a wrong deal, let's look at it from the angle where the property may not be good, and we want to dispose of it so that we don't lose the little money that is left in there. Somebody says one of them is good, and you rightly pointed it out. Could it be that this one is added to the lot so that it will make it attractive for somebody to spend so much money? If that is the case, but I want to leave this to SNIT and SNIT's board and Labour. The people who own that money are Labour, right? Yes. Myself included. Yes. As we speak, they are going to meet the Labour minister. The 4 members of the board never raised the issues that the opposition are raising now in the public until the thing came to public. Yes. But if they came to advise Labour on what the actions or the decisions or the suggestions they made on the board were, that maybe, I've been a board member before, so I understand. Maybe you have a dissenting view. At the end of the day, there will be a vote, you lose the vote and whatever. But if you stand in a place like Labour, then you have the power to go back and say, even though the conversation on the board did not favor you, you will use your strength in the numbers of the people you are fronting for to work it out. But it was not
exactly what Labour is doing.
That's what they are doing now.
No, I'm saying that at their press conference,
yes,
they made us aware. You see, Labour, and I always look at the timelines, Labour made us aware that their reps on the board had indicated to them that they shut down this transaction and they asked for it to be halted. And as far as they were concerned, they thought that that was the situation. Yeah. Now, they also raised other things about how SNIT was being run.
Yeah.
On the basis of that, May Day, 1st of May,
Yeah.
they raised those issues with the president. And they followed up with a letter on the 6th of May.
Okay.
All this happened before Honorable Okujetua Blackwell's petition to Shraj and the public announcement.
not like
Just to be fair to
SNIT,
to
to Labour.
TUC.
Okay.
It was after the Honorable Blackwell thing that people then started raising issues of Labour's representation on SNIT.
Yeah.
That Labour then held a presser to then inform all of us that, look, as far back as May Day,
They have been doing some underground.
we
work.
had, yes, raised these issues with the president. We had followed up with a letter on the 6th of May. We were yet, by the 20th when they were addressing us, that we were yet to get a response from the president. And they have now informed us that indeed, the president has now directed the minister responsible for labor to engage us on the matter.
So, Randy, the point I'm making here is that Labour may, for whatever reason, have been doing this until somebody threw it into the public domain. And that is what I'm talking about. Labour never saw it as something that they can pursue, or they should, or they must pursue within the public domain.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
they thought that
So
we can engage the president.
Whatever the situation is now, let us hold on.
All right.
As for me, my position is Brian is a politically exposed person. I have mentioned this severally. He's a politically exposed person. That does not mean this has never been done before. The catering rest houses that he's mentioned, he is aware. This one is, that's why I said I don't want to go back because I've listened to your show. People have mentioned it, even on this table. That the rest houses that he was referencing were bought during an NDC era by NDC bigwigs. That does not negate the fact that if it is wrong yesterday, it is right today. If it was wrong and if it is wrong today, I have never heard my brother Sami raise an issue that these rest houses belong to SNIT, and during the era of the NDC, we disposed of them to NDC people. That's why I'm carefully using the word
Doc, honestly, I'm not aware.
exposed. You are not aware. It's in the public domain.
Which NDC person bought a catering restaurant?
I'm coming. I'll reference it right now. I'll just open and show you and mention. And I know.
Don't be like Richard Ahiagba.
No. I know what I'm talking about. The catering rest houses that always bought the Central Region one. Their names are mentioned. These things, Sammy, I know anything. That is the information available to us. Sammy, let me
don't hear.
Sammy,
this is Good Morning Ghana. You don't just hear anything and come and repeat it here.
What I'm saying,
boys have not bought any hotel.
They haven't bought
your facts right.
Any stake in any of the catering rest houses.
The hotel you're talking about, he started it with SNIT.
Oh,
it is not like a hotel was bought.
Randy,
Look, you understand?
if he started with whose resources?
He started with his resources.
His
and
own resources.
At the time, it was not even a Ministry of State or nothing.
I'm not saying minister.
That's what we are talking about.
said politically. I'm using my words carefully. I'm using the word politically exposed. And that is exactly.
If you are talking about
what, Randy, if you heard me say this, what I'm saying is, it was wrong yesterday. If it is wrong today, it was wrong yesterday. And if it is wrong, I have never gone there until you raise these issues. What I'm saying is, if Brian is going to buy, and Brian is a politically exposed person going to procure a state property, for me, let's look at it from that angle. Let's stop it. We will not say that. I am bringing this because of the angle that it looks like the MPP era is the only era we are having to dispose of. We are having to dispose of properties that belong to the state, that are being acquired by state ministers. That is wrong, and that is you are misleading the public on this. What I'm saying, are you telling me that you never had any state property procured by any NDC member?
We were talking about catering guest house.
No, it is when
you spoke about catering guest house. I said I don't know.
I am coming.
I'm not saying you are not saying the truth. I said I don't know.
What I have
Supply me the information, and then you said you are going to make reference to that, right? And then you mentioned a house, and I said no. If that is what you're talking about,
Randy,
you got it wrong.
This is the information available to me that there were catering rest houses disposed of during an NDC era that were procured. I'd never used the word minister. I'm using the word politically exposed persons who are NDC people. So what I'm saying is that if it happened during your time, don't present this case as though it is a new thing. It's never happened before. No government land has been bought by the NDC, an NDC person. No government property has been procured by an NDC person. I don't want to believe that. During an NDC era, I have already condemned this, saying that if I think it is not the right
you've
thing.
condemned it like 100 times.
Even if they want to, even if SNIT, my opinion is, even if SNIT wants to dispose of these things, why won't they even say, let's find a way of listing those ones that we can list and let people buy shares?
Advertise.
Let me, the ordinary
they advertise. They've been advertising from 2018
Yes,
or
they have given
they
the
advertised
chronology.
at the time that Rock City was not even in operation.
Yeah, but they advertised and they didn't get.
And after they came into
If they
operation,
advertise them,
they
they
didn't
managed
get
to
there.
beat all the other 14 companies when they have been in operation for just
have
3
you
years.
checked
Yes.
That's why they said juju or
Sorry,
magic
It's what
you
they
see,
put. It's what
you
they
just
put
said that this is good morning, girl. We are doing certain level of critical.
so we can
analysis.
ask questions.
The business side of it is where I was coming from. The business side. If they want to dispose of it, look. Do you think it's only business?
Do you realize that this is your second submission?
Do you think if this were a private person who owns these properties, sometimes it is when the thing is doing the best that he will want to dispose of his interest in it. Do you know why? So that his capital gain, when the people know that this business is doing quite well, and you are disposing of it, the people will be ready to offer more to buy it. So the people who have made big money from creating and selling businesses, they are not people who they are looking at how the market is going and selling. So that's not what Smith may be doing.
Yes.
But Sami made another statement that you see we have to look at. He said the brand is the sole owner of
yes.
And that the company
Is
is
a sole shareholder, so as a beneficial owner.
He's the sole owner.
Yes,
He's
and
still,
beneficial owner.
I am still talking to him as the lawyer I am not.
Yes.
Does that turn that business into a sole proprietorship?
No, it doesn't.
Exactly.
No.
So tomorrow morning, let's say this deal goes through, and that's not what I'm. Let's say this deal goes through. Tomorrow morning, he decides to list Rock City on the stock exchange.
Yes.
It changes the dynamics. So all I am saying is that for all you
but
may
that will
know,
be post
even
facto.
he may not be holding money today. He may not. The property we know it belongs to him.
Yeah.
For all you may know, somebody is fronting for somebody. I don't know.
No,
I said for all you may know.
Let's
I am being careful.
Let's just not introduce those
all I'm
It's
saying
fine,
is
bro.
that Sami is saying solely owned by
No, for
Brian.
He's the owner.
For the records.
He's the owner of the company.
He's currently the owner.
Yes.
So he buys the company.
All right.
Or the company buys the
let's-
All
company.
right, let me come. Doc.
Let's move on.
His second bite and
We-
he spoke
we
for
have-
like
we
20
have-
minutes.
we have-
Let me just do 1 minute. Let me do 1 minute.
we have-
Let me do 1 minute.
yes.
Doc, look, what is bad is bad. This attempt to equalize is neither here nor there. I am one of those who don't support the purchase of state assets by politicians or by public officers. And I support the motion that Honorable Ablakwa and Professor Kwekwaza have proposed. They are going to be tabling before Parliament. We will all support it. Let's ban that thing. This thing of I'm buying a state land as a minister or I'm buying my car, let's cancel it. If those who came before us had done that, you would not have come to meet those state assets. No NDC person bought any SNET catering restaurants to the best of my knowledge. And until you adduce the evidence to prove that, I think you need to take that back because that is what gentlemen do. The one you cited about Ahoy's was not a catering restaurant that was bought. It is a hotel that SNET decided to go and build, and he had shares in that, so he contributed his bit. And as I speak to you, because it's been out, your uncle has been out of government for many years, his shares have been diluted to about 1% or so, because anytime they call for investment, he doesn't get the money. So that is it. As for his claim that the NDC said in times past that we're going to deal with people and we didn't, well, I want you to know that Asumdwe Hene and the father for all is long gone.
Is what?
Is long gone.
Be careful.
It's gone.
Long gone. And may God bless his soul.
Be careful about the
Now,
statement I made. Not
we
deal
this
with
new
people.
crop, we are not Asumdwe people. We are a different breed. Yes. We are not Famanyamefo. Yes.
Hey.
And the John Mahama who is coming back is not Famanyame. He came as a lamb. He's coming back as a lion. And he's coming back as a lion not only to come and chase after political opponents, but he has told even us, his own party people. He told Mrs. Ame, if we come, and even you, you dare engage in any act of corruption, I'm telling you, the law will work. I will not be a clearing agent.
All right. So
if you think that, you are mistaken. Revise your notes.
I don't have a problem with that.
All right. Okay. So Kofi T has this text that has been cracking me up. He says Labadi Beach Hotel is making profit. La Palm is not. These hotels belong to the same owner, Snate, and these hotels share a wall. My thoughts: break the wall between these hotels, make it one, and let the management of Labadi Beach Hotel manage it, and we shall get there. Okay. The only thing is that between the two walls, there's the La Beach and a Total filling station. So you'd have to
use profit from Labadi to buy the Total filling station.
Anyway, well, if you're thinking of getting a toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is KL 360 toothpaste. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KL 360 toothpaste. It brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KL 360 toothpaste. KL 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. KL 360 toothpaste. Happy, smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging, irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple, self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lifts and Elevators at Sakumono, or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right, so we'll take a break. When we return, some conversations can be deadly. Okay, so nothing untoward was said in alleged AG Jakpa tape to Ayebua. Godfrey Dame will continue his duties. Leaked audio won't affect court case. Deputy AG. And ASEPA has issued a statement. They say, GBA, please, you can't lose your voice. Get some vitamin C and speak. We'll be back shortly. Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And still with me on the show, I have Ernest Adade and Sammy Jemfi. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, us God and Mola got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some moolah. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko. Dako Sumbo don't be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. You can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 055 001 000. 0. Okay, so I have quite some interesting perspectives on what we just discussed. And the former Ashanti Regional Minister, the Honorable Alex Akon, says that third PP can be really interesting, and says particularly these times, can you see Rock City as a building or through the shareholders? If Brian is a sole shareholder, how do you separate the two? Of course, to create a runaway window, the conflict of interest is huge and cannot be defended. But Mark Ojoboafo in the state says, methinks Labour is now disassociating itself from the sale of the hotels because it's become an issue nationally. If you should call for the minutes of the board, you read something different. Wrong is wrong. Yesterday, wrong today, and will be wrong tomorrow. Says no to the sale of the hotels. Okay. All right. So the NDC and MPP they've held presses on the issue of the Attorney General and Richard Jakpa, something that we're told happened in court. Instead of focusing on defending yourself, you are defending A3. Says, I have not defended A3, I'm defending myself. You have been meeting me at all times to get me to bear false witness against A3. And that was what generated this whole thing. And we now have all heard the tape. The Attorney General's department says the Attorney General said nothing wrong in the alleged tape containing the conversation between the agent Richie Jakpa. Now, Deputy Attorney General Fretu Aibu argues that after carefully listening to the audio he's setting, nothing untoward was said by the Attorney General. Quote, there's no doubt that the Attorney General had a conversation with the third accused, as you've heard from our spokesperson. Very true. Circumstances led to that kind of conversation, and we think nothing untoward was said. And he said this on the sidelines of the launch of Amnesty International's Human Rights and Death Penalty Report 2023. And we're told that is also, he was asked, when asked how the audio would affect the ongoing ambulance procurement case, he said, we are in court, and the case of this nature are fought in court. We have closed our case in that matter. The first accused has closed his case, and the third accused person is in the witness stand undergoing cross-examination. The audios, if there are any, have nothing to do with what we are doing in court, and the judge made it known that what we are doing in court is different from what we are doing in the public space. That is politicking. Our focus is to do what we are doing in court for us to get to the end of this matter. On calls for the AG to recuse himself from the case, the Deputy AG responded, there is no basis. So that is from the AG's department. However, yesterday on the show, there were calls for the Ghana Bar Association to speak on this particular matter. And I've just seen a statement from ASEPA. And it says the silence of the Ghana Bar Association on AG leak tape worrying. It says it's been over 48 hours since the National Democratic Congress released incontrovertible evidence confirming a witness tampering allegation against the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Republic of Ghana. And we're yet to see a single statement from the Bar Association either condemning or dissociating itself from the conduct of the Attorney General, who's the head of the bar. In a not-so-distant past, we've heard the voice of the Bar Association on issues that are of far less implications for our criminal justice system than the current embarrassing spectacle brewing from the AG's own port. ASEPA is a human rights organization that has been advocating for serious reforms in our criminal justice system and promoting judicial accountability, social justice, and judicial equity, have been scandalized by the conduct of the Attorney General. For an Attorney General and a Minister of Justice to be caught on tape, deliberately and viciously coaching a witness to adduce false evidence to ascertain a wrongful conviction of a possible innocent accused person in a trial is an ominous dagger in the heart of the very role of a Minister of Justice. We're therefore adding our voice to the many voices calling on the AG to resign or be sacked by the President. A touted human rights lawyer who claims has fought on the side of people on the other side of the AG's vicious venom. Even more worrying than the conduct of the Attorney General is the silence of the Ghana Bar Association and the Presidency, reducing this troubling development to a banter between the two main political parties. As a CSO, We are aware of the millions of dollars international organizations spend in our country every year to support CSOs and governmental agencies to promote social equality, prevent human rights violations, and promote justice delivery. The AG's conduct has therefore undermined the steady progress we've made in these areas of key interest to our development partners and the international community at large, and therefore deserve nothing but utter condemnation from all, including the Bar Association and other stakeholders of the judiciary. It will be a further dent on the image of the country if the Bar Association never finds its often skewed, ruthless voice in this ongoing spectacle. Everyone is watching, and this is signed by Mensa Thompson, Executive Director of ASEPA. Sammy, let me start off with you. Godfrey Dame will continue his duties. Leaked audio won't affect court case. Deputy AG, nothing untoward was said in alleged AG Jakpa tape.
Well, the kind of responses we are getting from the Attorney General and the New Patriotic Party are very comical, to say the least. You see, the NPP thinks that Ghanaians are stupid. You see, and so they think that they can always lie, and even when they are caught pants down for lying, they can find a way of spinning it around, obfuscate the issues, and get off the hook. So they have no respect for Ghanaians. And that is why the Deputy Attorney General can speak this way. Unfortunately, he's somebody I know all the way from Sunyane, where I was raised. I have utmost respect for him. But I'm very sad that he has decided to be the cleaning agent, the fall guy, for his dishonorable boss, Godfrey Adame. Look, Doc, we are talking about a matter which happened in court, okay, where an accused person, who is a businessman, not a member of the NDC, a businessman being prosecuted by the state for financial loss to the state, for causing financial loss to the state, Richard Jakpa, under cross-examination, gave evidence to the court under oath that the Attorney General has been calling and meeting him at odd hours, impressing on him to skew his answers, his testimony, his evidence in such a way that implicates the first accused, Honorable Atufose. Look, it is material to note that this evidence was given by Richard Jakpa in court, not on radio. That's number one. Number two, the evidence he gave was under oath, meaning that if he lied, he can be liable for the offense of perjury, which is a second-degree felony, which can send him to jail. Now, he gave this evidence to the court in the presence of Godfrey Dame. This man who is issuing statement, Lawyer Tunya, was there. They were all shivering in their chairs like cows. They could not raise an objection. They could not deny the evidence given by Jakpa. And in fact, Jakpa, if you've seen the record of proceedings, and I'm sure you've seen it, said that I have evidence, and if you dare me, I will open the Pandora's box. Dame was quiet, praying that Jakpa will not open the Pandora's box. If what Jakpa was saying was not true, Section 6 of the Evidence Act allowed the Attorney General to object to that evidence. And the law says you must object timeously. He didn't object that the evidence was false or contrived or vexatious or scandalous. He couldn't. Like a coward, he went sash. He lost his mojo. Because this is also a serious matter, the court had to go into chambers to meet the lawyers. Calm tempers came, cautioned everyone in the court before the court adjourned. You could not confront your accuser in court when he was in the witness box. You have the effrontery of issuing press releases full of lies. You see, these people, don't they even have a conscience? If they claim nothing wrong was, they should confront Jakpa in court. He has dared them. He has dared them. Look, Doc, It was on the basis of this that we in the NDC said we have in our custody evidence that supports the evidence Jakpa gave in court. Now we're going to put it out. The Attorney General issued a statement and said, oh, we don't have any evidence. And that Godfrey Dame, the Attorney General, neither him nor his deputies nor his assigns has at any time met with any of the accused persons, including Jakpa. Doc, this is a press release which was issued by the Office of the Attorney General. It's on their letterhead, look, as you can see. Dated 23rd May 2024. It is signed by the same deputy, my good friend, Alfred Yautuya. Now listen, paragraph 2. The Republic has never required or desired the cooperation of any of the accused persons in the matter, in which it has already succeeded in establishing a prima facie case against all the accused persons. Neither the Attorney General nor any officer from the Office of the Attorney General has approached any of the accused persons with the view of obtaining evidence from them. Doc, this is what Lawyer Tuyan said. Deputy Attorney General. And this, I believe he issued a statement for on behalf of his boss. Then, few days after, because they were lying, they ended up exposing their own lie. Because the spokesperson of Godfrey Dame on Joy News, the probe, now came to say that, oh, you know what? Godfrey Dame has met Mr. Jakpa. But it was a Supreme Court judge who invited Godfrey Dame to his house. And unknown to Godfrey Dame, Jakpa walked in, he ambushed him. So the Attorney General was entrapped. So what does that mean? It means that the Attorney General lied on 23rd of May, 2024, in this statement, that he had never met the accused person. They themselves came to contradict that lie, that there was a meeting. In fact, as I see radio owned by Gabi Ochiridako, also published that. You know why they were doing that? I said, what chrono? And you know that you have been caught, but you don't know the evidence against you, so you start confessing your sins. We told them we were going to bring evidence, so they knew it was going to be a tape. So they thought we were going to put out the tape of the meeting in that Supreme Court judge's house between Jakpa and the Attorney General. So they decided to preempt it. And we said, we'll teach you sense, we'll swerve you. That is why we have that tape, but we deliberately didn't put that one out. Because indeed, Doc, we have many. But the point I'm making is that they themselves contradicted the first lie. Because they think we are all stupid. They think we have forgotten. Then we have done our press conference and given you evidence of a phone call conversation recorded. And this phone call conversation was a call placed by the Attorney General himself on 9th April 2024, which call he placed to Mr. Jakpa at 7:12 a.m. in the morning. On the day Jakpa...
7 a.m.
7:12 a.m. 7:12. And I'll give you the screenshot. 7:12. And yesterday I heard Mr. Pratt saying that it was a day before Jakpa would go to court. No, it was the morning of the day Jakpa was supposed to go to court to testify. The same 9th April. I heard some say Jakpa didn't have a lawyer. No, he had a lawyer on record, Thaddeus Sorry, the respected Thaddeus Sorry, his lawyer. And yet he called him for 26 minutes. It is that call that Jakpa recorded when you saw that the conversation was going into the realm of criminality. And that is what we have played. And this same man with no honor or character, no respect for the truth, comes to tell us that there is nothing wrong with it. What has happened to their conscience? What do they take us for? Master, Rule 13 of the Legal Profession, Professional and Etiquette Rules 2020, LI 24.3 is clear. A lawyer cannot communicate with a represented person without going through the lawyer for the represented person or seeking his consent. So for Godfrey Dame to have been engaging Jakpa at that ungodly hour, he breached Rule 13 of LI 24.23. This is open and shut. no amount of lies can cover this up. They should stop wasting their time. Rule 54 of LI 2423 is clear. A lawyer is not supposed to tell a witness to lie. A witness, when he is testifying before a court, is supposed to testify about matters within his personal knowledge, not matters within the personal knowledge of the lawyer on the other side, his adversary. Our system, our jurisprudence, is an adversarial system. You are prosecuting Jakpa for committing a crime. The man is going to court to testify. Then you call him and say, when you go and I ask you about letters of credit, say this. Say this. Then the man says, what you're saying is wrong. This is the right position. Letters of credit is not payment. It is a security with condition precedents. It can only be activated for payment when the condition precedents are met. He said, oh, no, but the terms of contract are the same. And there was no advance pay. He said, no, you are wrong. The AG didn't even understand the contract that his own case is predicated on. Maybe he understood it, but he thought Jakpa was John, in quotes, like the young men say. He was a zombie, so you could mislead him. But Jakpa was so discerning. He knew his onions, his facts. He kept on telling him, you are wrong. This is it. After he pushed Jakpa and continued to argue with him, it doesn't create any difficulty for you. So if you accept to testify the way I want, it doesn't create any... Jakpa said, but if I do that, I will be dishonest. Doc, you played the ABBEY yesterday. Yes. And my dishonesty will send an innocent man like Atufos into jail. And I can't do that. Doc, even after this,
what did he just say?
I've never seen a man who is so wicked like Godfrey Dame. That even after the witness would tell him this, he was still pushing. And the witness said, you have met me in my brother's, he mentioned the name of the Supreme Court judge, house over and over again. You've been telling me this. Master, I can't do it. When he failed, he said, oh, at a point he said, oh, I don't even know whether the call is being recorded. Look at him, such a dishonorable character. If you were doing the right thing, why would you be scared of your conversation being recorded? A man bereft of honor. And then he goes on to say, the most abominable thing I've ever heard from the lips of a lawyer, tells an accused person he is prosecuting for a crime, that I have to travel. So try and drag your evidence so that you don't finish early. Fixed match merchants, legal terrorist, legal engineer.
What did he do wrong?
Why will you be telling? And I said, if Jakpa wants to testify in one day, what is wrong with that? Why are you telling him to testify for long? Are you his lawyer? You his adversary? You who want to jail him? You are coaching him that drag your testimony. Are you a court? Then the man says, oh, I have a lot of documents. It will depend on the behavior of the judge. You may come and meet me. He says, okay. You can go for a medical excuse duty. Then Jakpa says, okay, then if you go for the medical excuse, I said, no. How can me go for a medical excuse duty? You go for it. And Jakpa was scandalized. He said, me? You want the woman to issue another bench warrant for me? Look, you see, it is only people who...
So he was asking Jakpa to
go
and
forge a fake medical excuse duty. When he knew Jakpa was fit and strong, go and forge a medical excuse duty to deceive a court. And you have people defending this. We should do psychiatric examination on them. If you can defend this. This is criminal. Section 213, Section 214 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act is clear. If you create a circumstance to deceive a court, you are guilty of perjury, a second-degree felony. If you tell a witness to lie to a court, you have engaged in professional misconduct. Now, Doc, in all this thing, Godfrey Dame has absconded.
What do you mean by absconded?
Because he has not spoken on this matter. When he was confronted to his face in court, he couldn't utter a
No,
word.
I'm told he's out of the country.
No. First of all, Japa confronted him in court. He was there. He couldn't respond. Right? He couldn't also respond in the media. Then when the evidence was aired, he himself, he's one of the attorney generals who speak a lot.
He's not around.
So
I'm told he's not around.
Zoom US.
Oh, maybe he also has a strategy. You can't determine how he responds to the issue.
Okay, but I can comment on how he responds to issue.
Yes.
And I'm commenting that his silence means that he has nothing to say. Because Godfrey Dami, we all hear him granting interviews on Joy. You think that if somebody brings out a tape against an attorney general and the tape is doctored, it will take Frank Davis to come and say it. Godfrey Dami can't say that for himself. Lawyer Tuyan, he and Godfrey Dami doesn't even have confidence in Lawyer Tuyan, his deputy. If he had confidence in you, he wouldn't tell a witness to lie to the courts and forge a medical excuse duty to give him time to travel and come back. He would have known that, my deputy is capable, so even if I travel, my deputy can prosecute this case. And you are defending this man. I'm shocked. I'm ashamed for that, my countryman.
Okay.
And look, my point is that his spokesperson, since we brought out this evidence, Wilberforce, my very good friend, I told you the last time, he was my vice president when I was president of the SRC of Ghana School of Law. We were called to the bar the same day. I have a picture with him. Nice man. He was all over the place that, Godfrey Dami only told Japa, say the truth, say the truth, say the truth. I have the tape there. He said, Godfrey Dami only told Japa that if you say the truth. Since the evidence came, Wilberforce, when the media people call him, he doesn't pick. Before the evidence, on Good Morning Ghana, by now he would have been texting you and Yampofo messages. Today, he has gone into hiding. Hiding in his rat hole.
We don't know why he's not available, so let's just...
What? You don't know?
No, you don't
why
know
was he all
available.
over the place granting interviews? Then when the smoking gun came, you see, every day for thief man, one day for the master. Damn it, this has been your stock in trade. This has been your modus operandi.
This is
an abuse of the justice delivery system.
This is a stretch too far.
Why?
There's a specific allegation. Let's focus on it.
No. Why is the stretch too far? Doc, if Dame is doing this in this case, tell me, why couldn't he have done this in all the other cases?
Yeah, but we don't have evidence to that effect.
Oh, but Doc,
let's stick to this one.
If I am saying, in my opinion, that if he can do this,
there is a possibility.
Yes.
Okay.
That he's in the habit of that. And we've been complaining about this times with that number. And look, it is not only the Legal Profession Act that he has violated. And I'm happy that people are calling on the GBA to speak. Because he has also violated the GBA rules. This is the Code of Ethics of the Ghana Bar Association. He is the leader of the bar as the Attorney General. And Rule 11 says dealing with other lawyers' clients. GBA rules. This, the one I referred to was the Legal Profession, Professional and Ethics Rules, LI 2423. This is GBA, and it says a lawyer commits misconduct if he interviews or otherwise communicates about a pending case or a matter directly with any person whom he knows to be represented in that case or matter by another lawyer without the express consent of the other lawyer.
But I've heard...
No, don't even repeat it here. It's a lie.
I've heard...
He has always had a lawyer. It's not true. His first lawyer, I know.
There have been instances where...
He changed his lawyer.
The
day he changed his lawyer, the next day he came to court with another lawyer. Okay. So they are lying to you. Okay. And the recording was done on 9th April 2024. His lawyer was Tadio Sorry.
Asat.
On record, yes. And this is it. This is the GBA rules. So why is the GBA quiet? The Godfrey Dami, 2023 last year, he went to the bar conference and delivered a speech. Have you seen the speech?
No.
This is what Godfrey Dami said. I'll just read to you the relevant portions. In my view, the Legal Profession, Professional Conduct and Etiquette Rules, 2020, LI 2423, is carefully designed to serve as a signpost for high standards and integrity in public service for every lawyer. Rule 1, he begins to lecture the lawyers of LI 2423, sets out the lawyer's duty to discharge his responsibility towards the client, the court, and the public. Then he goes on and on. Rule 5 of LI 2423 teaches us that in representation by a lawyer, that lawyer is a representative of a client. He goes on and on. Then he comes. There cannot be a bigger avenue for a lawyer to demonstrate higher standards and integrity in society than service in the public sector. The bar is not without its problems, but let us not forget that the law is an endless, stimulating profession. It is serious and fun at the same time. May God help us to continue to build a Ghana founded on the rule of law, grounded in high standards of integrity and respect for fundamental human rights. I am grateful. God bless us all. Godfrey Yeboadame. Look, he was preaching about adherence to the ethics, quoting rules, pontificating, not knowing that he is the most violent violator of the rules that govern the legal profession. And today, people who know the law are either quiet or they are saying that there is nothing wrong. And I'm happy that Professor Pierre has spoken, the professor of law. He says the man must apologize and resign. I am happy that even Bobby Branson, who usually associates himself with the MPP, law lecturer, very nice personality, gentleman, he says that if I were him, I would resign. And Sansare, Mr. Sansare, former director, Ghana School of Law, he says he must be sacked or Akufo-Addo impeached. Lawyer Samson Ladia Yinene is calling for a commission of inquiry to probe the matter. Franklin Kujo says, Dami Yukubra or Yukubra Swampa. Bryce Simmons, the prosecution is needless and incompetent. It is politically motivated. All the neutrals, ASEPA, Arise Ghana, it is only the MPP who are justifying this. And what are they saying? That the tape is doctored. Oh, the Supreme Court has resolved that matter. In the case of Kennedy Japan versus Anas, the Supreme Court says that where it is alleged by a party that a tape is doctored, the onus is on the party alleging that the tape is doctored to provide the authentic tape. Where is the tape? Men of no shame. You said that Ato Forsen came and met Godfrey Dame to plead with him to drop the case and that you have video evidence. Where is the evidence? Men of no shame. You said that, now they are even mentioning John Mohammed's name, and let me use this opportunity to warn them that the communication between a president and a former president is privilege. We are privy to a lot of things that because of the respect we have for our leader, we won't speak about it. But if they accuse John Mahama again for intervening in this matter, we will spill the beans. That privileged communication between the president and the former president, we will put out the details. Who called who? Who asked who to make an intervention? We will give you blow-by-blow accounts. So they shouldn't even go there. Then they say that, oh, the tape is doctored before because we advertised to start our press conference at 2, but we started at around 3 p.m., so the tape is doctored. Comic relief. It's like they were doing Key Soup concert party. We have given you evidence. Come and show us why the evidence is doctored. No evidence. A security analyst, independent-minded person, Adam Bona says, no evidence of doctrine. Yesterday, I heard Mr. Pratt, my mentor.
If you listen to the tape, I mean,
no evidence
very
of doctrine.
sequential, you can get it.
And you see, Doc, Tuesday, the media should come to court. Because if the tape is doctored or not, if the tape comes to court, we will know. Why? In the Ofoswampofu case.
Tuesday, what's going to happen on Tuesday?
I said just come to court. I'm telling you. Just come. I don't have the right to communicate for the court, and I'm not going to prejudge any process before the court, but just come to court. And come and see if they will have the courage to repeat the things they are repeating in the media.
Will the court sit after 10?
After
10 a.m.?
Yes. It will be 12 p.m. Okay. And I will be happy to see you in court. Okay. So, Doc, our demands are clear. Godfrey Dame must resign or be signed, or else next week or soon after, you are going to see a motion of censure by Parliament for his removal, which will be publicly televised.
But you won't get the numbers.
We won't get. Okay, we wait to see. You don't know that there are people in this MPP government who themselves are appalled and scandalized by this.
You won't get the numbers.
Okay. Now, again, media, if the government will not resign, I like it.
Okay.
Because I want him to come and cross-examine Japa. Because the evidence Japa made is now part of the record. So if it is doctored or
he doesn't need to be the person to cross-examine.
He must come, whether you like it or not.
Why?
Is it not the Attorney General?
Yeah, but Tia can do it.
No, please.
No.
That is their strategy. They are saying, you see, the man has run away. So he now wants his deputy to do the cross-examination. The allegation is about you. When you were having the call, your deputy was not there. Your spokesperson was not there. Frank Davis and Anabi were not there.
Yeah, but you are a lawyer. If
you and I were not there, come.
No, even lawyers are advised to take lawyers.
So Godfrey Dame be a lawyer.
Why not?
Well, we will see. I have confidence in Japa. I have confidence in Japa.
Okay.
No matter who they bring, the truth will come out. Okay. And look, you see.
So be winding up for me.
Maybe when you come back, I'll give the background to the case. I wanted to do that.
No,
will you give me the permission?
No, okay, so
let me conclude on the tape aspect.
Okay.
And then when you come back, I'll go into the background, what this case is about.
Yes.
The issue of financial loss.
Why don't we leave that to the court?
No. We need to. You see, the MPP, they have been putting out a lot of false information.
Okay.
That we brought in ambulances which were trotro.
Yes.
They said that Toforsen has done something without authorization. So we reserve the right to state our view, our position, and allow the court to determine. Nothing stops a party in the case.
Haven't you?
But in the media, they are peddling the falsehoods in the media. Okay? Which is very unfair to the courts, because what they are saying in courts is not even what they are saying in the media. And therefore, people must understand what the case is about from our perspective. But at the end of the day, it is the court that will determine the issue. So, Doc, what Dame has done is criminal. What he has done constitutes professional misconduct. It breaches the GBA rules of ethics. It breaches the ethics of the legal profession. It is totally indefensible. All the neutrals, including MPP members, are calling him out. It is only those who don't have conscience who will be entertaining this. And please, instead of Tuya issuing these releases, issue a press release to come and apologize for the lie he told. In this press release of 23rd May, where he lied that Dame has never met Japa or communicated with him or sought his cooperation. He should come and apologize for this.
Okay.
And he should apologize for the many lies the spokesperson has been peddling.
Okay.
And they should stop worsening their own case. Because you see, when you tell one lie, you need to tell a multitude of lies to cover that one lie. So that lie gets an exponential effect. It never ends. And it only worsens their case.
All right.
Thank you. When you come, we'll go into
Daniela Mavis Matthias, today's your birthday. So she's my go-to person for price comparisons on the market. So Daniela, happy birthday to you. Yes.
Sorry. Just something small.
You never finished.
No, 1 minute. I'm sorry. You know, they said that the entrapment bits, that it was the Supreme Court judge who invited him. You've seen the WhatsApp chat between Jakpa and Dame dated 22nd February 2022.
No, I haven't read them.
Well, I'm going to forward them to you right now. You can put them on the screen. Where Jakpa, the background is that Jakpa was granted bail a month prior. The condition was 5 million. He fulfilled that, got the necessary documentation. The police wanted to frustrate him. So he called his brother, who is a Supreme Court judge, to intervene. Upon the intervention of the brother, the Attorney General called for him to be released on bail. So 1 month after, he sends him a message and says, "Thank you. I want to meet you at your convenience for a private discussion." That's what is in it. Okay. Private, you and I. Okay. And the purpose was for him to explain his side of the story. That, look, you have the wrong person. I've committed no crime. And yes, everything is here. We put them out at the press conference. Yes. Then, Godfrey Dame was the one who first of all suggested and chose to meet Jakpa at the residence or through the Supreme Court judge. So he said, "I will arrange the meeting through your brother." Connection men, that is how they operate. Okay, right. Somebody said, "Let's have a private discussion." Why would you say, "I will meet you through your brother"? So they claim that he was entrapped. Is another barefaced lie. And I'm forwarding the WhatsApp chat to you right away.
Andy, I promised Sammy that I was going to make reference and then give it. So I'll quickly touch on that and then move on. My phone just never stopped ringing since I made that. And it's been mentioned, Cape Coast. We have already mentioned Uduyaya got the Tamale one and all that. So there's evidence that those catering rest houses were released to NDCP.
Were sold.
They sold for way less than they would have been for.
Were divested to them.
Yes. They went under the same divestiture implementation program that I just mentioned. And PEPs procured them. So that's what I was saying. I was telling him off that if you bought a Tico that belongs to Gabba and I am buying a bus, now you turn and come and tell me that one is wrong. We were all procuring. But that's not to say we want to equalize like the word he used. So let's move on. Because I'm saying this because I said I will refer and then mention it to the listeners.
That's okay.
Now, Richard Jakpa issue. We have all listened to the tape extensively. I played it a number of times because I didn't have time to listen to the live, the interview, the press conference. So I came, sat, played, and listened. And I realized one thing. In as much as the statement out there is the tape might not be the whole story. It's a statement. Somebody might have placed the call. I am sitting down here. The MPP came out to say that there is a longer tape, or the conversation is supposed to be longer than the 16 minutes that we were talking about, or the NDC played. When I was listening to the tape, I don't know whether the one I got is what was wrong, but you could see that the conversation had already started, and Jakpa started with a statement and then continued. It gave all of us the impression that, yes, the 26-minute allegation or the 26-minute statement would have been true or maybe longer. Why am I saying this? I keep asking myself questions. If I am the Attorney General, and you listen to the tape, you will hear the Attorney General wanting to now understand the terms of the contract and everything from Jakpa.
After he has closed his case.
After he had actually gone to court.
Well, I'm saying he has closed his case in court.
Giving his prima facie, whatever.
So why would he want to understand?
Exactly. I am asking myself questions. I want to understand why this conversation would have ensued.
Okay, maybe this is the wrong forum, but that's fine.
Why this conversation would have ensued?
With you, though.
And as they spoke, I realized that Richard Jakpa was the person who is saying the things that the NDC are using against Godfrey Dami now, except a few. Except a few. Like he said, but you want me to do this. Godfrey Dami giggles, you want me to do this. So he's as if deliberately he wanted Godfrey Dami to say A or B or C. All these things we are saying, the MPP came out to say that this thing might not be the whole thing. It might not be the whole truth. It might be doctored or cut and paste or something would have happened.
So where is the tape?
Why are we not in court? And Sami had just answered this question, but I'll still ask. Why are we not in court with all this evidence? Because if you ask me, I'm not a lawyer. If all these things that came on the tape that we are all trying to hang the Attorney General on are true, automatically one would say that this case is over, right? So the NDC, why don't they present this case all in court? And he said that
but
it has
this
been
is not
mentioned
in court.
Why is it here in the court of public opinion? These are questions I'm asking myself. If I was in court and these things are to my benefit, I don't get the press conference bit. Even though he is saying that the press conference came because this case is being handled in the media. But these are issues that are so damning on them.
But I'm sure that, Ernest, I'm sure that perhaps, but for what happened in court on that day, because what happened in court is what necessitated the disclosure by the NDC that on Tuesday they were going to hold a presser, they made accusations against the AG, they will provide the evidence. Because something happened in court on a particular day.
Yes.
Because we've even put out the proceedings, the record of proceedings in court. Because it's pretty obvious that, but for the AG intervening during cross-examination and making a certain accusation against Jakpa, this issue perhaps may not have come up.
Randy, I doubt that. I doubt it.
You doubt that Jakpa would have said what he said in court?
It would have come up. I doubt the fact that maybe if the AG didn't intervene, these things, I doubt it.
No, it's an accusation.
I listened to the tape, and I'm speaking from the tape.
Proud to us listening to the tape. I'm saying that something ensued in court.
In court.
If you look at what ensued in court, Jakpa reacted to an accusation against him by the AG that instead of focusing on defending himself, he's defending A1. A1 appears to be Atufosin, yes. And it is his response to that accusation by the AG which brought out the issue of recorded conversation.
After listening, this ensued in court. Yes. After listening to the tape, the tape gave me the impression that there were leading questions, things that I want to hear something, I want you to say something. That is what I am getting from the tape. So what I'm saying is, maybe...
Oh, you mean Jakpa led the AG on?
Jakpa was asking questions, or there are things the AG did say. For example, when he said...
So why did the AG place a call to him? First of all...
No,
why did he place a call to Jakpa?
As at now, yes. I don't even know who placed the call first. But according to the NDC, the AG placed the call.
Yes.
And what I am saying is, somebody would have wanted something. This is a planned thing, in my opinion.
No, I don't have...
If Jakpa had this evidence... I don't have a problem with... Jakpa, he said he's not an NDC member. But I'm telling you, I know the man. Okay. I've known him. He knows, he follows His Excellency former president. He used to. No, I don't know about now, but he used to. So I knew him as an NDC man.
Okay.
If Jakpa, an NDC man, feels that his friend or his colleague or his co-NDC member is being persecuted, political persecution, like Sami had just put out, and I have evidence to quash this case and finish this case, are you telling me, Randy, that Jakpa would have shelved it if the AG did not ask him that question in court, and he would have shelved it and wouldn't have brought it up when he knows from the way Sami is speaking? Sami is a lawyer, I am not. But from the way he is speaking, this case is almost done.
So what's the point you're making?
The point is, if Jakpa had this evidence, nobody can convince me that Jakpa was never going to release it, and this case would have run its course in court. Something would have happened. What I'm saying is, they are saying that AG did something wrong. The AG is a lawyer, right? What do their ethics say?
It's ready to tell to us.
I am expecting the NDC by now. He's saying the AG hasn't responded by now. If I am the AG and such an allegation had been peddled against me, I'll think twice before I throw anything out.
Why?
Why? Because if I am the AG, I want to come out.
Hold on. The very next day, after that court sitting, the AG's department.
The AG's department, not the AG.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, his office.
Yes.
His office.
Issued a statement.
Doc, please, it was on the same day, the same 2010 day.
His office issued a statement on the matter. Subsequent to that, a person identified as his spokesperson
came to speak.
A person who speaks on his behalf has been speaking to the matter. Randy, that is the AG speaking.
Randy, what I'm saying now,
I'm
not referencing the documentation. We all have them. What I'm saying is, Sami just said the AG was mute. The AG could not utter a word on these matters in court. Now, after these allegations have been made, the AG had still not issued any statement. He referenced the AG in particular. And that's what I'm saying. You have said all these things. Maybe, as at the time they were speaking, we all heard the AG saying, you don't know who, or the supposed AG saying we don't know who is listening. I'm saying the supposed AG because now, Randy, technology exists. Randy,
said that they don't deny that the voice is that.
What I'm saying is, I am speaking for myself. The technology exists to be able to to go and pick a voice from somewhere and come and add it.
Randy,
let me land on this. My point is, if the AG, if I am in the shoes of the AG, and I'm making reference to what he said about the AG, not his office. The AG responding to these things. I believe he will come out. But all I am saying is that everything that has been going around, they know the right thing. And especially when this case is in court, and he is telling us that the issue came up the first time in court. I am not a lawyer, and the public listening to us who are hearing these things, in actual fact, what are they doing with it? And he's saying we should come to court on Tuesday. And that presupposes to somebody like me that they might have presented these things.
So, Ernest, for a minute, let's step out of NDC and MPP.
Yeah.
I am a Ghanaian. I hear a tape, and I hear the Minister of Justice on that tape. And the 16 minutes I've heard, anybody who says there's 26 minutes or 46 minutes, they should bring it. I want to hear the remaining part. At least what has been put in the domain is 60 minutes. Yeah. If I hear my Attorney General asking a person is prosecuting in court to go and procure
false evidence.
Yes, go and procure a medical report, not fake medical report, but a medical report on a fake assumption of ailment, and send it to the court in order to secure an extension of time to make me available after my travels. Shouldn't I be worried? I'm saying just that part. Shouldn't I be worried? But the Minister of Justice and Attorney General who's prosecuting somebody for committing a crime, committing a crime, is asking the person
conspiring with that.
Yes, the person to go and do something untoward.
Randy, that's the question.
How do you expect me to feel?
Doc, that's the question I told you I'm also asking myself.
Yes.
The AG, the one leading the process, leading the prosecution, right? If for whatever reason he is indisposed, he can fall sick, anything could have happened. What is the right thing the AGO, not me, not you, could have done? That is why I am asking.
In this case, he's not sick. He says he's traveling. And in any case, you see, in any case, in his absence, other officials,
Deputy DP,
yes, they deal with the issue. Yes.
Worst case scenario.
Yes.
He should go and appeal to the judge. Worst case scenario.
Yes, you're right. To the
It's pretty obvious that he didn't want to be the person requesting for an adjournment.
Why?
No, but why
What is
should
wrong?
it be my opponent?
That's what I want to understand.
Quote and unquote enemy.
That's what I want to understand.
You aggressive. That's how we call it.
Why should it be him?
Yes.
And that's why I am also asking all these questions I am asking. And gives me the impression that something might be wrong somewhere. Including including the tape, maybe something beyond. It's early days yet. They are going to go to court. I have dared them. Yesterday I was telling somebody somewhere that the NDC could have by now written to the Ghana Bar Association for the necessary actions that he has just quoted from the laws. That would have given me some level of confidence as a somebody, and let me put it this way, a bystander. Just interrogating
Do you
this
think?
matter.
Do you
Because
think
I don't get.
Do you think that this is a matter that is so serious enough to elicit a response or a statement from the Ghana Bar Association?
In my opinion, your whole Attorney General,
The leader of the bar.
there is a heavy allegation like this.
Yes.
That breaks constitutional provisions, their own code of ethics and all that. You think the Ghana Bar Association didn't have to get involved?
No, that's what I'm asking you.
So that's why I'm saying I have too many cobwebs in my head. I don't see why, if I am AG, I should go to Sami.
So let me help you.
I should go to
I have no
Sami
cobwebs
and
in my head, so let me help
seek Sami's help. When I know on this show, Sami is here to.
My head is very clear, no cobwebs.
Sami
So
is
let me
here
help you.
to project his party.
Yes.
I am here to project my party.
Yes.
And I'm going to. You see that we just made a statement. He categorically denied it. The evidence is different.
Yes.
So all I'm saying is, he came here to project his party. If the thing is against his party, he said it is not true.
Yes.
When in actual fact it is true, and people have sent so many documentation.
Yes.
All I'm saying is, so why as me, as the Attorney General, will go to the person I am prosecuting, and if that person should lose the case, he may end up in jail or something else, and go to him and tell him, go and procure medical.
So if you juxtapose, so if you juxtapose your concern as against what happened in court, where the AG tells A3, he gets up on a point of,
to make an objection.
Yes, an objection. And he says that instead of focusing on defending yourself,
The defendant.
you are defending
A1.
A1. You know, do you then connect the two?
Yes.
Are you then able to connect the two and establish
I
something?
am not saying here that maybe they never had any conversation. What I'm saying is the evidence here is the tape that I have listened to may be longer because what I heard, the 16 minutes I heard, broke at a point in time. So it may be longer. Number two, if the AG gets up in court to make such a statement, he may have a reason. I don't have that reason.
Yes.
I don't believe you, Randy, have that reason.
No.
So now that Samir and I are sitting here interrogating the matter as it is.
So now that I've heard that tape, the 16 is what I've heard. I've said that those who say it's 26, they should add the 10 minutes and let's all hear. If the 10 minutes will invalidate the 16,
yes.
we are prepared to learn.
Yes.
Me, I always say that I will always succumb to a superior viewpoint
yes.
or new compelling evidence. So yes. I don't have a problem.
Yes.
If that extra 10 minutes will invalidate the 16, please put it out. The next day on this show, I called for both parties to put out
the evidence.
All they have, the recordings.
Including the video of
yes, we want to see. So my point is that
the matter should be dropped.
If I listen to what transpired on the 16th, and I juxtapose it against an AG who has an issue with his thinking that instead of focusing on defending himself, the person is defending A1. I tie that against the conversation that I listened to and the arguments. It gives me a certain mindset. Yeah. It paints a certain picture.
So I will wait.
You understand what I'm saying? It paints a certain picture.
It's fine to wait.
The fact that
it's better you wait.
It's the fact that
put your integrity on the
fact that the deputy AG and others are in court prosecuting the matter and will be doing so even in the absence of the AG. Yet the AG in that conversation is asking A3 to go and get an excuse due to medical excuse due to, although he is not unwell, to enable him go through his travels and come back and be part of the process. If I put all that together, it paints a certain picture. And I'm saying that it's on the basis of what I've heard and what has transpired in court. Maybe the 10 minutes will invalidate all this or make me change my whatever. I'm prepared to listen to the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's at the moment
sure.
wait for their conclusion, their presentation as he promised to maybe the Ghana Bar Association for action or whatever. It will bring more. It's early days yet.
But let me draw your
it's early days yet. The allegations came. The man is not in town. People are answering on his behalf. The man himself must come and answer for himself.
All right, brother,
and then we will know what.
Let me come here, Doc. You see, first of all, I think my brother largely has been asking questions, and to that extent, I have no problem with the submission. We just have to help by providing him with the necessary answers. He says that the tape we have put out, number one, he says that there could be a longer version. Okay. Now, we are not, no, the MPP said it was doctored. Yes. And so that's a different matter. To doctor a tape is, so maybe they said the truth, but let me deal with this first. Now, what you are right in saying, okay, what you are right about is that the conversation was for a longer period. You're right. Because it was a 26 minutes conversation. When you make a WhatsApp call, listen, when you make a WhatsApp call,
yes,
WhatsApp will record the call and the minutes you spent on the call.
Yes,
let me tell you something.
Time you find it.
If we come on Good Morning Ghana, and you have, say, a problem at NCR, okay? So, and it's happened, I've been on this show and it's happened, where you finish this show and you go on the Facebook page and you don't have the whole show. True of us.
Yeah.
True of us, because of a technical problem, even though we might have started at 8, your streaming delays till 8:30. Doc, true of us.
True.
So if your recording, which you put on Facebook, is from 8:30 to 10, it means that recording is fake. That is the argument. So Godfrey Dami called him. He thought it was a normal conversation. He didn't know what he was going to talk about. It was in the course of the conversation that he realized that, look, this man is leading me somewhere. And so because of what may happen tomorrow, let me record. So he recorded from that point you heard the recording start from.
Yes, so what I'm saying is...
Bro, let me finish. Let me land.
Okay,
let me land.
Right, that's right.
So that is it. That is the recording he has. So if Godfrey Dame, some MPP people say Godfrey Dame phone records automatically, and that there is even an equipment called the Pegasus, which National Security has, and that if they go to MTN, they can pull out the entire 26 minutes call.
Yes.
We are waiting for that entire 26 minutes.
That's the point.
But the man says, and I'm telling you that the recording was done from a certain point when you realize that where the man was leading him was problematic, was criminal, was unlawful. So that is the recording we have, and that is what we have put out.
Which means that he didn't intend to record. It wasn't premeditated.
Premeditated to record him from hello, how are you? No. It was at a point that he decided that no, from where things are going, I can have a problem one day. Let me record for the sake of the records. That does not in any way undermine the integrity of the tape we have put out. Number two, he says that he is wondering why Godfrey Dame called the man to ask him so that he could understand the terms of the contract. Bro, you were wondering. No, that was your second point. I wrote it here.
Said, from what they were saying, it gives me the impression that he's now trying to
understand.
Which makes me, you don't
understand.
After he has presented his case in court and he has closed his case.
That shows that man Godfrey Dame is a sham. This is, you see, it is not what people do in public that matters. This is what he does in secrecy.
So you
now
wait
that,
for him.
No, it's not about what.
Wait. You have.
Please hold on.
You put an allegation on the person. You have accused.
It is not an allegation. Hold on. This is evidence given in court under oath. In the presence of Godfrey Dame, hold on.
You are a lawyer.
Please,
people are in court.
My brother.
Day.
Don't interject me.
All right. So you finish.
It shouldn't be too often. You can come in, but it shouldn't be.
I agree.
Too frequent. I beg you. My point is, you say people lie in court every day.
I thought you.
And when somebody lies in court under oath, who has a responsibility to arrest and prosecute him? It's the state. Do you know that when you lie under oath to a court, it is perjury?
Yeah, I know that.
Do you know why Sakande was jailed? Don't you know that it's about perjury? Do you know one of the reasons why a son of MP is being prosecuted? Don't you know that it's about perjury, lying under oath? So if Jack Pa's testimony is lying, Godfrey Dame should be prosecuting him for perjury. First of all, he should have even objected. That is what the Evidence Act section says gives him the right to do timeously. He couldn't. And you are saying it's an allegation. Evidence on record. Undisputed. Then he says, he wanted to understand the term. It shows you that Godfrey Dame himself, two things. Either he's so ignorant about the contract, which is the basis of his own case against Ato Forsen and the other accused persons, or he was deliberately feigning ignorance. Because some of the things he was ignorant about, as we heard on the tape, are so trite that even the common man can understand. Doc, this issue about letters of credit and what they are, and the fact that letters of credit always have condition precedence, and it is the fulfillment of those letters of those conditions precedence that then trigger payment. So Godfrey Dame doesn't know these things. I mean, either he knew and was feigning ignorance, or he deliberately set out to mislead the accused person. Look, you get my point. That's number two. Then he says that the tape might be doctored. Hey, you people, from it is doctored, now you are diluting your sons. Might be doctored. You're talking about might.
Not the state.
Might.
You heard the
we don't talk about might here. Might be doctored.
That's my position.
This is your personal might.
Yeah, that's my position.
So you are speculating.
I'm not.
On Good Morning Ghana, we see. Well, we have told you the rule. If you say it is doctored, bring the authentic. Then he says that, why don't you present this in court? If the NDC really had this, is the NDC a party to the case? Bro? Is the NDC being prosecuted?
The NDC brought... who organized the press conference?
The NDC. But you are saying
so
that
if you are saying all these things,
why not we?
No,
and I'm saying are we a party to the case in court?
Sammy, what I'm saying is the Attorney General is supposed to have broken the Constitution, broken this, broken that. And you are not a party, but you were able to come and organize a whole press conference and let the whole Ghana...
Just like you also organize a press conference.
You could have.
Done what?
You could have, in the same way, said that this is what the Attorney General would have done. And for that matter, we are taking him on. So if the NDC feels
you are not a lawyer,
offended, let's go.
I'm saying that there is a case in court. The Republic versus Ato Forsen and others. The NDC is not an accused person or the prosecution. So, if we have evidence, we can only use the platforms available to us to put that out. We can put the evidence in court. The accused person who recorded the conversation has told the courts, has given this evidence orally to the courts. And in that oral testimony to the courts, Doc, he told the courts, maybe I should read the record of proceedings to you. He told the courts that he has the evidence.
You are not party, so let's go.
We are not party. The Attorney General is a public officer paid with
exactly
what
I just said, and
he is a lawyer and therefore enjoined to follow the ethics of the profession. Hold on.
He's a public officer.
Don't make the interjections too much. Respectfully. Don't make the interventions too much.
You seem to be Ghanaians.
Hold on.
That's what you just defended.
But I'm saying that our platform for redress cannot be caught. We are not a party to the case.
What I am saying is, why didn't you write to the Ghana Bar Association to tell the Ghana Bar Association that this is the problem?
Allow me to make my point.
Gentlemen, I have a big problem that I need you guys to help me solve. So if we can just round up on this one.
Okay, sure. So he says that why don't we go to the GBA? Why don't we go? In fact, where the right forum is the General Legal Council. And we are going to go there. But the timing for that process, you are not going to determine that for us. We know the time to go there. Then he says that there is technology and some Maza. Godfrey Dame can never. In front of him, this man, and if I just can refer you to that relevant portion, page 25 of the record of proceedings. Or let me go to 26. Yes.
Yeah, we know what he said in court.
You know what he said in court?
What he said in court, yes.
Okay, so he said, my lady, I have heard that, but I want to make it clear here that the Attorney General has on several occasions had meetings with me privately at all hours, both in person and on phone, in respect of this case, to cooperate or answer questions in a manner that will make his case better against A1. And I have refused. And I have evidence to that. And so if he's accusing me here that I'm here to defend A1, which is a 247, he has brought hostilities to my doorstep. And I am responding to the hostilities. And if he continues on this angle, I will open the Pandora's box. And we will know actually what transpired. He has brought it up and I will give it to him. He goes on. I am angry because how can he accuse me to be defending A1 when I'm here to fight for my liberty? And he has been impressing on me to cooperate with him so that he can put A1 in jail. And I refuse. So if he comes here to accuse me of defending A1, it is unacceptable. Then he says, Jakpa again, so if he dares me, I will open the Pandora's box here. And I have evidence for that. You understand? And I'm saying Tuesday, come to court. That is all. Then finally, Doc, he says that there is something wrong somewhere. That is what I agree with him on. That indeed, there is something wrong somewhere. And what is wrong has nothing to do with the tape. What is wrong has to do with the character. The lack of character, the lack of honor, the lack of integrity.
The conduct of the AG.
That is what is wrong. And that is why he must go, and he must go with alacrity. And if he will not go, well, we'll be on the master.
In one vein, he made a statement.
And please,
they are not a party to the case. They are NDC. I think around this table, we are speaking as NDC and MPP.
Yes.
We are not here to present Jakpa or whoever's case as it is in court. So whatever I interrogate with Sammy, I'm interrogating it as NDC and MPP. You had a press conference, made your own allegations, substantiated it with tapes. The MPP as a party has come out to say that this tape, as you have it as a party, is not what we think the case is. The MPP has come out on that. Frank Davis addressed the press just like your chairman addressed the press. What I am saying is, the opinion of the MPP is that the NDC thinks their members' case in court might be a bad case. Or he said I shouldn't use the word might, but the case is in court. I can't pronounce judgment on it. So I'm being careful. Might be a bad case. And therefore, let's take the case out of court into the court of public opinion.
Can you imagine?
That is what they are doing.
Imagine?
But the allegation by Jakpa was made in court.
No, but if
that's what I'm saying. The allegation
has a good case. Why is he begging accused persons he's prosecuting to help his case?
Please, I mean, you said I should.
What do you people take us for?
The man who is prosecuting
the case in court is begging the one he's
You
prosecuting
told me to hold on and
testify
just
in a manner that
respect
helps
the
his case,
forum.
and you have the effrontery
I
to
am
say
trying to respect
that
the
we
forum.
are bringing the case into the
I
media.
said,
So if he
okay,
engages in professional misconduct, we
NDC
shouldn't
as
talk
a
about
party
that.
Okay.
who is not in court is attempting to bring the case out of court. And it is rumored, it's alleged, that when the judge called them into chambers, something like, some conversation like that would have happened. That don't take the case outside.
Called who into chambers? You want to talk about matters in chambers?
I am not.
No, he says there's a rumor.
It's
So
a
who told
rumor,
you?
it's alleged.
Ah,
You
but
are a
you
lawyer.
do-
When I
but-
say
but-
this,
but- but
Sammy,
you do
Sammy,
rumor mongering
you
here
are,
too.
you are a lawyer.
You,
When
from
if I want to
speculations
make
rumor
a
mongering,
statement,
Master, if
I
you don't
am
have
making
anything
the
to say,
statement
don't
carefully.
talk.
What I'm
Don't
saying,
come,
Sammy, wait.
don't
Let me
come
land
and
on this.
monger rumor.
I am not
About
rumor
a
mongering.
court,
I
what
am
a judge
saying
has said in
it
chambers.
is rumored
I am
that
an officer of the court, I'm
something-
warning you.
Something
When a
would
judge
have
says
happened.
something in chambers, it's
Sammy,
confidential. Dog,
I am
this is
saying-
contempt. Don't come and sit
Okay,
on TV
no,
and
Let
come
me
and
land.
monger
Let me
rumor
land. Don't put
about
words
matters
into
that
my
happen in
mouth.
chambers.
I don't put words
Who
in my
told
mouth.
you?
Nobody told
What
me.
happened
I
in
am
chambers?
saying what I want to say. I said it is alleged that
By who?
people might have been cautioned on taking the case out of court into the court of public opinion. And
But that one
is
happened in open
exactly,
court. It was not
that
in
is exactly what I think the NDC is doing. If you have a case, go to court. Say it in court. Treat it in court. Deal with it in court. You have good lawyers. The AG is a lawyer. He has a team of lawyers he's working with. Let them defend
My brother,
themselves.
respectfully,
Number two,
give that
let me-
advice
let me
to
land.
Godfrey Dami.
Let me land
That
on
if he
this.
has a good case, he should stop
Let me land on
fixing matches with
I
accused persons and
am
witnesses and go to court.
listening to your tape and speaking
Go
from
to
your
court.
tape. I am saying
Why
that
has he
if
run away?
you believe you have evidence to take your minority leader out of the case, present it in court. Randy, let me land on this.
Yes.
We have cases in Ghana here that might have not run its full term just because of technicalities like this. Something would have happened. Somebody was telling me that Ghana at 50 never reached wherever it was going because somebody raised a case, a lawyer raised a case that Ghana at 50 went to a commission of inquiry. And for that matter, legally, you cannot do ABCD. For that matter, the case was stopped. Is that not it? So what I'm saying is, if the NDC believe in what they are throwing into the public to people who do not even understand, let's say a majority of Ghanaians may not even understand the implication of all the things you are saying. We are going to take it politically. If you have this evidence,
You are the only one engaged in cheap politics. The evidence is before the court. Don't you know the evidence is in court?
Why didn't
and for you,
wait?
and it is
Why didn't
uneducated for you
wait
to
for
say
the
we should
court-
appear before court.
the court to
Are we a
pass
party
the
to the
judgment?
case?
And
The
then-
accused
and that's what I'm
person.
saying. In one vein, you are defending the issue. In another vein, you say you are not.
And I've read the evidence to you.
In one vein, you
Master,
said you are not.
clearly you don't have anything to say on this point.
Why?
You yourself, you said that there are cobwebs in your head. So it is the cobwebs that
I'm
is
talking
speaking.
about
My
questions
brother,
I have.
my brother.
Sammy, the questions I have.
But if you have
are asking the
questions,
same questions.
let's
So do you
give
have
you
answers?
answers. Don't
okay.
come and attack the NDC
Don't you
here.
have CBOS?
Your
that's
AG
right.
has engaged in unprofessional,
Gentlemen,
criminal, and
gentlemen,
shameful
take
conduct.
him on.
You can't eat.
Why do you come and tell
So
the
don't-
cocoa
okay,
seller
so
and
then-
the woman on
Gentlemen,
the,
I've told you that
We
the
must
woman
tell
on
the
Mokala
cocoa seller
market
because it is the
is
cocoa
being told
seller.
the
Okay,
AG
all right,
has
all right, all right.
Because the
Why
prosecutorial
would the
powers of all
woman-
of us is
Gentlemen,
vested in the AG.
gentlemen.
And the AG is
Why-
paying with our
What
taxes.
can the woman at
Gentlemen,
Mokala
Ernest
market do
and
about
Sammy.
The woman
That you
at
are
Makola
telling.
must
Ernest
know
press
that the
Ernest and
AG
Sammy-
who is being paid with our
Ernest and
taxes is a
Sammy, let's
crooked
have some-
character.
let's
That
have
is
some
the
sanity.
point.
You are alleging.
Let's have some
That's what the
sanity.
evidence says.
Ge-
And you
gentlemen.
can't defend.
Are you in the right
Gentlemen, let's
position
have
to
some
declare
sanity.
judgment on
Let's
this
have some
matter?
sanity here.
Is it now you?
Now, Ernest,
who is declaring judgment? No,
Ernest,
you can't.
Ernest and Sammy, I told you that I need to.
Want to defend the indefensible.
I need you guys to help me on something.
All right.
So the MP for Inshaiso is also the Deputy Minister of Finance. Okay. It's popularly known as Tika, but he's a Dr. Stephen Amwa. Okay. And there's this tape that is doing around. He's speaking about the CD. I need you guys to help me. And of course, maybe some of our audience, I know that most of our audience are smarter than all of us. But I always appreciate the fact that I also have handicaps. So I like to seek for, a better understanding or deeper understanding of some of these issues. I need you guys to help me understand what the Deputy Minister of Finance said.
The depreciating cedi.
Cedi. It's the first time cedi. Who accorded what you are wearing, didn't we import? We imported this, we imported that. Cedi depreciation is a ritual problem. I agree with you. It's not because of one particular government. Unless one is suffering from unconscious incompetence or displaying intellectual dishonesty, that will say that cedi depreciation is MPP government. It's an issue that has nationalistic or that needs nationalistic attention. That one I agree. But it's not. So far, we keep on being in importer-driven economy. We'll be having problems with the city because we import almost everything. But inshallah, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, next year if he comes, we're going to design a long-term framework to deal with the city. Trust me.
The depreciating cedi.
Ernest, please help me understand what was said.
Why me? Why am I the one to help you understand? The point I'm trying.
I've already said that I have a difficulty, but I need to understand.
Sammy will tell you the cobwebs in your mind. He is confused.
I have more than cobwebs now.
The point he's trying to make.
Yes.
I think I made a similar statement here 3 weeks ago or so on this very table. I think 3 weeks or so ago. The cedi is having challenges, and it's not now. It's not now. I was trying to pull some data. When His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor was handing over power to His Excellency John Evans Atta Mills, it was a fact that we had the cedi hovering very close to 1 cedi. It was 1 cedi something, 1 point something, very close. I think 1.2 or something like that. By the time 2016 had elapsed and they were leaving office, people are giving varying numbers, but it's not wrong because in Ghana we have a rate for the forex, we have a rate for the banks. So people are saying it's between 4 and 4.6, 4. Could be somebody could be quoting some forex or something, but the Bank of Ghana rate at that time I think was 4.2 thereabout. If that is the case, you took it from 1 point something to 4 point plus. And the last time I mentioned it, I used the percentage, and you weren't happy with the percentage terms, but that is how financial ratios are calculated. Is that not so? Yeah. So you took it and did something very close to 400%. Somebody takes it from there. But the actions that this government decided to put in place to check these things. One, Stika mentioned you are wearing imported clothes, I'm wearing imported clothes. What it means is that our balance of trade may be having challenges because we are spending more to import, especially things that we could have locally produced and used. We might have acquired tastes of things that instead of eating my local rice that was grown in Tamale or something, I am buying these people, the Chinese and all those rice from all over the world. So our cedi will be under challenge. Somebody was giving some statistics about sugar and all that. Those things happening. It's going to affect us. It's the truth. If His Excellency John Mahama, if he should get the opportunity to even come again, and actions are not taken to address the things that keep making the cedi drop, he will take it from 14 point something or whatever. I believe it's going to come down before the year ends. But if he should just come, you take it from there and also multiply by 4. Because the things that are making the cedi fall are not just by mouth or some economists coming to stand on radio and TV and say anything. We have to take action, take steps. Number 2, if you look at the dollar worldwide, dollar is beating everybody. Unless anybody has any other data to give to me, the dollar is pushing every currency off for some other reasons. All I am trying to say is, Stika says, when we come, but His Excellency Bawumia had made statements as to how we will work on these things. You have power issues. We are importing so much fuel to support our power sector because we are relying more on thermal than hydro. We don't have enough hydro. So he said, I am going to bring 2,000 megawatts of solar power. Istika says next year, when he comes, he's going to do something about it. If he substitutes the thermal power we are generating and using today with solar power, how much of the money we are using to import fuel today will be saved?
What happened to all the prescriptions in restoring the value of the city? What happened to all those prescriptions? Because in the restoring the value of the city, I didn't see solar something.
No,
I didn't see. No, I'm just asking.
You are taking me to a different conversation.
No.
The man is becoming president. And
No,
he says,
no, you don't get me.
President.
The Deputy Minister of Finance,
Yeah.
today,
Yeah.
Deputy Minister of Finance, is telling us that this is why we are where we are. Yeah. The same thing that we were told 8 years and beyond. And we were told of the prescriptions and the competencies that are required to deal with this. 8 years on, we are being told that it's a ritual. I've forgotten some of the adjectives.
Okay. Brandy, 2019, it's online. Everybody can Google. We took it at 4 point, let's say 4.2, 4 point something. By 2019, CD to dollar was still hovering around 5 points, I think 5.3, 5.4, thereabouts. By 29, it's online, so we can Google and confirm the actuals. The first three going into the 2020 COVID challenges, we had just moved by just single one and some coins.
When did we set up the 38-member committee to investigate the forex problems?
I don't have the dates.
2019.
That's what I'm saying. So you realize that by the time 2019 was ending, we had just added very little to the existing dollar in Ghana here. The free fall, I think, started in 2021, thereabouts. Long after, I think late 2020 into 2021, we started having challenges with the dollar. So something would have happened. And everybody who understands some form of economics will tell you. In fact, I was on, I think, GTV or so, something, and I said this thing, that after every pandemic, after every war, like we had the world wars, after those big challenges that cover the world, it's always followed with a recession. It's always followed with a recession. So everybody who understood what was coming knew that after 2020, we are likely to go into a global recession. So when we say COVID affected the Ghana activities on the dollar, on all our economy and all that, it's a fact.
So all countries in the world, all currencies in the world are going through what the city is going through.
Not all, but a lot of the currencies, all our
in fact, let's restrict ourselves to Africa.
What's happening to Nigeria now? Nigeria had to take certain drastic steps before, but Nigeria's situation was worse than ours.
So how come we are the third worst performing, third worst?
So the issue I raised the last time comes to
you have 50-something countries. How come you are the third worst performing?
Randy, maybe Samuel will take me on this, but there are certain steps we needed to take. Government is taking them. You see, there was a time, let me take you back. There was a time I was on a committee, one of the World Bank committees, working on something for me. On that committee, one white man asked me a similar question. It was then His Excellency John Evans Atta-Mills who was president. And we had something like a single-digit inflation. But the interest rate was just going. We were hitting, I think, 30-something. But we were still touting ourselves that we are in a single-digit inflation or something. The inflation was low. And interest rate was rising. And the man asked me, he doesn't understand. Because these things should move with each other. If the interest rate, if the
inflation rate
is coming down, it
There should be a correlation.
There should be a correlation. They shouldn't be inversely proportional to each other. They should be moving in line. If they are going, they will go. If they are coming, they will come. And he took it lightly, made a statement, and we all laughed it off and left. But that was a Ghanaian situation, so a localized challenge that everybody knows all over the world that if the interest rate, if the inflation rate is dropping, we should see interest. So one day I met a banker and asked him, this is what somebody asked me. I couldn't explain. And he said, my brother, we are borrowing on the market just like anybody. Because that time, the Bank of Ghana did not have the money. It's supposed to be the lender of last resort. And they don't have the money.
They could have just printed like was done 2 years ago.
And that is why why did you have that level of interest rate? You know why? So somebody would have made a decision. You either go and print. What I am saying is that I'll repeat this statement. Don't let us not just say, oh, we are going to bring B and the interest dollar rate will stabilize. It will not. The government is putting in measures to arrest the dollar rate.
How many times do you want to arrest it?
Oh, the word arrest is not the police one.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the police.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the police.
Okay.
But the word arrest is just the use of the English word arrest.
Because the city will plead double jeopardy.
The government has promised us, that going forward, these things will be halted. I believe, because I was one of the people who was on Setepe's neck also when the city was having a free fall and the devaluation and all that. If when we finish these projects, it may not drop to the 5 cities and that we used to have in 2019 under an MPP government, but we will have it better than it is today. We believe so, and that's what we are working towards. The statement he made, we cannot stop these imports tomorrow morning like people say in the public domain. People are saying, oh, then we can just get up tomorrow and say zero imports or don't import this or don't import that. They all have their own trade issues around them. You cannot just get up and stop American products from coming to Ghana after you have signed AGOA and things. You cannot just say Nigeria. You can't just do that. Or you can't just introduce tariffs. People will come.
So when did you realize all this? In 2024?
No, these things, normally the devaluation will not start one day. It will start gradually, and you will be doing something about them. You will be acting on them until it got to a point when, I listened to, I think, one of the bankers, I think a former Barclays or something, somebody made a statement, allow the CD to find its own level. Yeah. Because previously, they got to a time when the NDC was releasing, when the situation was getting worse. They started releasing, was it 20 million or 2 million or something, into the economy. And I keep saying that the moment you release that money into the economy, there are people holding CD because we went for an FDI program that the foreigners built their businesses and established, and they have grown their businesses here. So they are doing very well. But those people don't spend CD. We ended up putting in the GIPC, GIPC law that they can repatriate their profits. So if you go and sell, he goes to sell his oil and the CD doesn't come, we are in trouble. So these things are things we should be looking at, and looking at them either through policy and other things. If we make noise and we decide that, the CD is dropping. In fact, the NDC used to say something else. We went to villages to go and campaign, and they would say, the last time when we were in power, CD was 5 CDs. 4 CDs, and when your son sends money to you, you change your, let's say, $1,000, and then times 4, you get your 4,000. And people come, they say they won't agree, so they want to reduce the dollar. That time was the conversation, but this is not it. We are saying we have seen the problem, we appreciate the challenge, and something will be done.
You have now seen it.
Oh, it's there. It's been there. That's why I told you the CD will not depreciate overnight. One day, then 10 CDs comes to add. It's gradual. It's systematic. And we have seen that the thing is going down. What are the challenges? They are being found out. Okay. And then action is being taken. That's why we came to promise the public that before the year ends, CD is going to, the depreciation is going to stabilize like we did before. Until now, it had been stable. If it didn't go back, it's been stable. We are going to do same. By the end of the year, the city will be stabilized and it will come down. We are doing everything. We are making sure there is food in the system. All the things that will cushion the Ghanaian. So at a point in time, if I decide to eat banchi, fufu, and
What are two things? Next week is June.
Yeah.
What are the two? In fact, Saturday is June. What are the two things? Two of the things that you are going to do that by the end of the year will stabilize the city?
I think you just appointed me as a member of.
No, because you said that you have put in place things and by the end of the year. So I want to know just two.
No, I don't have.
Because when it comes to the city, I mean, this is not my church.
Yeah.
You know, if I were in my church and one of my pastors is prophesying, I will take it. I won't ask questions. But when it's
when
Good Morning
it is
Ghana,
not a church,
yes, I will ask what is it. Anyway, let's bring some.
What are we talking about here? We're talking about a deputy minister for finance who is paid by the taxpayer being asked a question by a journalist that the city is depreciating and people are complaining. Then he gets angry.
Well, that's how it speaks.
Okay, well, and says, why are you complaining? It is intellectual dishonesty and hypocrisy to complain that the city is depreciating, such that today you need 16 cities, almost 16 cities, to get $1. So this public officer who is our employee now describes us as engaging in intellectual dishonesty.
No, you are speaking specifically to somebody.
Yes, to the journalist. The journalist was asking that question for and on behalf of the people who are complaining about the free fall of the city. Doc, are you not lamenting the free fall of the city?
Yeah, but he's telling the journalist that you are also a contributory factor by wearing patronizing imported
before even
things.
which is an insult to our sensibilities. You see, it highlights the disrespect by office holders in the ruling MPP Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. The disrespect they have for the people of this country. They are not only inept, they are not only corrupt, they are not only nepotistic, they are also very arrogant and disrespectful. They have no respect or regard for the people of this country. Either than that, how can we give you our mandate? No, I didn't interject you once. Why can we give you our mandate? How can we give you our mandate to govern based on promises you made to us? That when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And that the fundamentals were weak under John Mahama. That John Mahama was incompetent. Akufo-Addo said at a point that Ghanaians needed 3 cedis to get $1 because of bad leadership. Bad leadership. But Wumia said that buying $1 at 4 cedis was the hallmark of incompetence. He delivered lectures on how to restore the value of the city. Countless lectures at Ashase and Central University and so on. And projected himself as the know-all, be-all savior Ghana needed. He had the magic wand to stabilize the city. When it came into office, after the first 100 days, he held a press conference and said he had arrested the dollar and given the keys to the IGP. He's been bragging about stability of the dollar. Even recently, he's been telling us about how they have done better in managing the exchange rate. In other words, he says that buying $1 at 4 cedis is worse than buying $1 at 16 cedis. If you are buying $1 today at 16 cedis, it is better than buying it at 4 cedis under Mahama. This warped position is what he pushes on us. After all the things they said, who is being intellectually dishonest? Who is being hypocritical? That you use the exchange rate as the main message for your campaign. And Akufo-Addo says, this is why I am bringing Bawumia to come and deputize me as my vice. Because he's an expert in managing national currencies. This is Bawumia's primary primary work as chairman of the economic management team. At least according to his boss who appointed him. And then he comes to tell us after first 100 days that I've delivered. I've arrested the dollar. Even in 2022, he was delivering lectures saying that he has done better in managing the city, quoting some, concocted ratios and percentages. And today, the Deputy Minister of Finance says we don't have a right to talk because the things we wear are imported. The things Bawumia wear, the things Bawumia and Akufo-Addo were wearing in opposition when they were talking about the dollar, they were made in Ghana. All the things were made in Ghana. Why is it that you people don't have a conscience like that? Why is it that you don't respect anybody? What do you take Ghanaians for?
Is it not a fact
Look,
wearing imported clothes?
Master, this is made in Ghana by Bondana. If you don't know, I'm telling you.
Also give you
This shirt is made in Ghana by Brumon. So please, if you are wearing imported, talk about yourself. Don't talk about me. Now, Doc, apart from the negotiating hypocrisy, please, don't do this. No, there's a serious matter. Look, today, the woman who needed 40,000 cedis to buy $10,000 to import things into this country needs almost 1.6 billion cedis, 160,000 new Ghana cedis for the same $10,000. The same $10,000 from 40,000 to 160,000. The difference is 120,000. You have no right to be sitting here and be cracking jokes. After creating this mess and after lambasting and berating the actual NDC government for this. And you are insulting us on top and you are cracking jokes. Look, Doc. He says that, the dollar has become strong and it is appreciating against all major currencies. Look at them. Always making flimsy excuses for their own feelings. Today you need more than 20 cedis to get 1 pound. 1 British pound sterling. More than 20 cedis. What about what I want to? Even common CFA, the CFA of Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, in 2016 under Mahama, you needed 6,000 cedis for 1 million CFA. Today you need almost 30,000 cedis for 1 million CFA. So all the currencies are stronger than yours. You are the third worst performing nation in terms of the strength of your currency. And you are here saying the dollar has become stronger. Always making excuses. You see, if you have failed and you even show that humility in conceding that, no, we got certain things wrong, it's better than coming to sit here and be throwing dust into our ears as if we can't read, we can't decipher black and white.
So you're
Dog.
going to say as if
Then you say, hold on.
4 cities was.
But 1 cedi to 4 cedis. An addition of 3 Ghana cedis.
David, go in
If
percentage.
it was even 1 cedi,
go in
please,
percentage.
when you are going to buy dollar.
It was even 0.9.
Yes. When you are going to
And let's not forget that we had redenominated.
yes, and
the
knocked off
currency.
zeros.
Yes.
That is all.
We have done
That
a
is all.
serious
That
redenomination.
argument
So
is neither-
10,000 to
Please,
40,000.
my brother.
And now
My brother,
from-
we've had a very smooth conversation. I keep on telling you, reduce the heckling. I beg you. I
understand.
beg you.
Because it's
No,
even the-
for this
the
your
period-
submission, I didn't heckle once. I beg you.
Because it's NS and even the 0.9. You see, the redenomination was done when 2007. Yes.
By knocking off zeros.
So,
that's all.
so the 0.9, 2007. By 2008, we had 1.2.
Yes.
No, it came to 1 in 2008. You see, there is a reason.
Please, can I make my point? No, let me make my point. No.
Sorry.
The-
Go ahead. Yes,
you see, when you're going to buy dollar, if you go to a forest bureau or a bank to buy dollar today, will you say, give me percentage? I'm buying 50%. You buy dollar at the prevailing nominal rate. Let's talk about percentages. It's totally hogwash, in my humble opinion. Don't even go there. When Akufo-Addo was tweeting,
especially when it's not your primary currency.
yes,
So.
when Akufo-Addo was tweeting about the exchange rate, was he quoting percentages? Go and check the tweets. He was quoting 3.2, 4 cedis and those things. So now we buy dollar in percentages. That percentage you are talking about, let's say that percentage you are talking about, the 1 cedi to 4 cedis, we're still able, people could find dollar. And we could service our debt both in dollars and in cedis under John Mahama. You that you claim you have better percentages, can you service your debt? Like you people, why? Where do you take us from?
We need to go.
No, I'm coming.
We need to go.
Then he says that
Sammy, we need to go.
at some point, you see, give them all
No,
the
we
time.
need to
and
go.
he's like, claiming,
Check your
you
watch.
go. He says that Bawumia is coming, he has promised something. The same Bawumia who a few months ago told us that he has gotten a solution to the depreciating problem. That solution, according to him, was good for oil. Is it good for oil? No way, I told you. You are now promising.
You see, it's working. It's working.
And so why is the dollar 16 cedis?
It's not only the
why
oil,
is the dollar 16 cedis?
It's not only oil.
Please
that
let me
is
go on.
Creating
Then
the
let me
dollar
don't go and say it anywhere.
You know it.
Don't
it
follow again.
Gold for oil is
let
working.
me make my point. I don't have time.
Go ahead,
I should run out.
Go ahead.
Again, don't go and say it anywhere. Stika said it, you repeated it here. Ghana currently, our imports don't exceed our exports. Don't say it anywhere again.
I explained what I
Ghana has a positive trade balance because of oil that John Mahama, through his investments, has given us as a country. Now we export more than we import. So ordinarily,
Randy,
our
this
city,
is also not
hold
correct.
on, our city should ordinarily be strong. That is why we have a positive trade balance. The problem, can I make my point? You're being too disruptive. You know, I have utmost respect for you. Don't do that. The problem is not, you know, we know that still our import bill is high, but it has been so for a very long time. The reason why the dollar is selling at almost 16 cedis today is because you have so much borrowed and increased the public debts to a level where the state cannot pay for the debt again. And because of that, you are doing debt restructuring. You are not even servicing your dollar-denominated debt, your external debt. If they were still servicing our external debt, the dollar would be around 30 cedis. They are not servicing, and yet the dollar is 16 cedis. So because of that, investors don't have confidence in this economy again, and nobody is bringing their dollars. Nobody is borrowing, is lending to us in dollars too. We can't go on the capital market to issue Eurobonds of $3 billion like we used to do. So the supply of dollar in the system is not there, and therefore demand has far outstripped supply, and that is why the dollar is selling at 16 cedis. This is not rocket science. So stop insulting our intelligence.
Let me say.
And by the way,
forgive me.
The dollar,
just a minute.
Since they took office, the year that the dollar was stronger was the year of COVID 2020. Right. COVID even helped.
Okay, so let me say a big happy birthday. A big happy birthday to Prosper Ashikwe and Daniela Mavis Matthias. Today is your birthday, so happy birthday to you, Prosper Ashikwe and Daniela Mavis Matthias. Happy birthday to both of you. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining me.